Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final night of Osas 14. Can't believe we've been doing this for 14 seasons, but I'm here with Breakson to kick us off with the winners finals. It's going to be Chikara Patterns on the red team versus Force of Will on the blue team, and we're heading into Taiko Temple and Among Titans and Super Search start. Hello, Breakson. How are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good, Pato. I am honestly like super hyped for this game, not gonna lie. I do really like to keep up with OCS, and this year it's honestly pretty interesting. Like on one hand, we have Chikara Patters, we have two new people here, CHK Ghost and Yabba Gabba, which I don't believe they've been in OCS. Like this might be their first season that I know of. If not, like they
Ghost
definitely
played in
haven't
one
played.
more.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Ghost
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
Was it a
At
while
least
ago?
Ghost did. It was like OSAS 11 or something.
OCS
Um,
11.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. See, now on the other hand, we have Starfish, who I believe played like a pretty long time ago. Like he was around when I first started playing in OCS, and that was definitely like last year. So he's been around for a while, but he kind of stopped, right? But he actually came
Uh-huh.
back this season, and he kind of came back with a bang. He's like on winner's side of winners finals just after like just, just coming back right away, right? And that's honestly
Mm.
not that bad, especially like you probably haven't been playing for a while either, so and like he's been super solid in the net too. I think he is a very strong hold it down goalie, and we might be
Okay.
seeing that as we are on Taiko Temple here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's very impressive for Starfish, and not only are they winners side winners finals, they were actually first. They did not drop a set to any team. They actually beat Force of Will to be first place in the bracket stage. And like you said, Starfish is going to be picking Atlas on Taiko Temple, and looks like to answer that we have a vice goalie on the Force of Will side. So it's gonna be really interesting because we do have an Among Titans start. It means everyone's gonna be big, right? Or not big, sorry, super fast, right? So we gotta see if the Atlas can save everybody, or if the damage from the Vice is gonna just chunk through everything, right?
Yeah, that's true. And Vice is kind of a new pickup on Wolf Drifter. Like this season specifically, he's picked up a lot of new goalie picks because
Okay, I
when he
lied. It's
first started
Rasmus.
out,
I'm sorry.
oh, it is Rasmus goalie. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all good. That's all good. But he has actually been learning device goalie, and he's also been learning Finny. So he's been like learning more aggressive like goalie picks. While originally he was mostly just like Rasmus and the melee goalies, right? So I'm kind of interested to see how he's going to be doing on this Rasmus pick on Tycho Temple. It's not the most conventional pick, but yet again, if you're comfortable on the character, you can make anything work in OCS here.
All right, yeah. So tell us about this Amon Titans Awakening start. I mean, all six people took it. It must be a really strong awakening, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like it is kind of like the awakening where if it's on the round start, you kind of just pick it. But otherwise, in the draft, it's not very common that you see people take it because like in the draft, not everybody can pick it, right? This is like the only awakening in the game where it's just like a straight up benefit, and it's very common that everybody does take it because like everybody has size, everybody really likes size, and there's really no trade off. It is just a very common like tradition that everybody will take among Titans start on like among Titans start. That's just kind of it's like an unspoken rule in Mega Strikers. It's very rare where that's not the case. Like I think when Sparkle Leadership was like really strong, you might take that over it, but other than that, it's mostly always among Titans.
Right. As we say that, Ghost does take double barriers. That happened just last point as well. So Moldrifter has to play with an open net behind his back, and it's going to be really scary with this Dracarys still making sure he can't cross clear. And Starfish, great secondary, making sure that they can get that clear, but the core still stays in the corner. Dash from Larry. Doesn't get the barrier though, and Starfish now has an energy. Ghost is running to Moldrifter, who has Whiplash locked and loaded. Ghost passing to Yabba Gabba, who didn't have a cooldown and was dodging the glitch pop. Real Otaku almost gets a kill there, but doesn't commit to the flip. And Ghost coming in with the Xeno Cloak. Ball back to Rasmus. Yabba Gabba coming in. The hook, very nice, saves the core from a goal potentially. Now Real Taku and Rasmus and Larry all almost have flips, and Starfish once again a perfect secondary to get the core out of harm's range. Yabba Gabba a little bit losing on the midfield side right now to Real Taku, but they do get the core out. Core flip has been burned. Second core flip is burned. Real Taku only one on the core flip on the offensive, and Moldrifter's Rasmus is going to be there to back it up on the defense. Ghost and Yabba Gabba kind of chugging it through. Unfortunately, doesn't burn a core flip and doesn't get the goal. And now Larry just cross-clearing it through, getting it 90s through. And Rasmus, unfortunately, uses the core flip. And now Ghost is able to nail that goal.
That was a very strong second point by Chikara Paz right there, and honestly, this first set here, they're kind of taking control. this Dracarys pick, although a little bit unconventional with the Siphoning Wand here, especially on like not really damage start. It's a little bit interesting, but they're clearly making it work as they are up 2-0. And they are really making this Dracarys pick look pretty strong right now, as they are the highest level in the lobby, despite being a brawler. But yet again, in games like this, where the offense is so one-sided, the brawler does tend to have the most levels in the lobby, but once it starts to even up, it does kind of neutralize. But yeah.
Yeah, gotta watch out. He has a flip there. Ryotaku uses a flip. Larry almost at the flip once again. Clearly getting a lot of touches on the goal, but Yabba Gabba, perfect timing on that core flip, and now Starfish is a little slow, and Larry is able to finish it off with the cyber swipe. And now Force of Will coming back from a 0-2 deficit.
Yeah, they were looking a little rough for the first 2 points there, but they finally found room to breathe here, as that point didn't even go to overtime. It was a lot faster, but yeah, like I think this Lyrian Lords is kind of their star player here, because they are definitely really strong and were like a nasty player for Woe Chills at one point. Unfortunately, they did get taken off the field there, but they're a very like potent player. I believe that Amy is one of their comfort picks. If not, it is probably their Estelle. But they're definitely like their 2 favorite picks, and it's honestly not a bad pick to have in Tao Temple either, as once you get the turret going, and with that Asher on the front as well, it can be super oppressive. So even though they really haven't had the time to like put the like ball on their side of the field yet, I feel like once it does, they're going to be able to convert pretty soundly in the pocket.
Yeah, Ryotaku is trying to push into corner time and time again, but Yabba Gabba holding strong for Starfish to always strike second. That's what matters. And Hook coming in, go strike second. Larry is looking dangerously low. Has a flip though, is going to burn it right there to try and get it through, but Starfish was waiting there with the astral projection as well. And Larry looking low and no energy, and you don't want to be in melee range of an Atlas with that kind of HP, and the core just gets through. Yabba Gabba Crystal Thorns it past Mole Drifter, and that's going to be first set. Really convincing first set actually from Chikara Patters.
And it looks like the Dracarys does get the first pick here. Now, if there's like a missile prop with this draft, I do think it's very likely that people will take that. Now, luckily for them, there is no missile prop. That Awakening is like super scary on Dracarys. And if he's like first pick, you're praying that that doesn't show up. But he actually opts to go for Stinger here, which is honestly not a terrible pick here. I might have like opted for maybe like Prime Time, because Dracarys Prime Time is honestly a very fun like thing, and it can scale really crazy with the Awakenings that you like. But on the other hand here, the Lightning Lars does get Quick Strikes, and Rasmus gets Prime Time for the defense there, which is honestly pretty good overall. Like once you start getting some size to go along with that Prime Time, it can be really hard to just get the core to the Rasmus in the first place because of how big that pendulum swing can be.
Yeah, right now we see a turret coming down, getting some value, finally taking that first barrier away from Starfish. Ghost is trying to dribble through. Yabba Gabba is there, and Rasmus has to make the clear to save the barrier. And now Ghost lets the core through, but Starfish is there backing it up. Nice dodge from the shotgun from Ryotaku, but the core goes back to Rasmus, back to Mole Drifter. Ghost finding the offense once again, and the unfortunate hook from Mole Drifter makes both barriers open, and now Patters once again, they put Force of Will on the back foot. Ghost is going through. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Slicks, so the wand's a little slow, but still a pass down to Larry's intercepted by that piercing beam from the Estelle. And wow, Patters continue their momentum.
Yeah, that was also a really well-timed beam from Yabba Gabba there, not gonna lie. I was like, I don't know if that was a prediction or a reaction, but if it was a reaction, that is definitely really scary to be like, have to look out for, as that is an Estelle who is very good at covering up clears already, but they're able to catch like the midfield clear like off guard as well. That is also very scary. And another thing as well, Yabba Gabba does have stacks on stacks, and they're not really getting damage, right? So like in games where there isn't a lot of damage, stacks on stack can be super strong. Like doesn't really matter what map it's on. Like movement speed is really nice, and if you are the one who has stacks on stacks with Among Titans, that is a lot of room to scale for movement speed. Like, that is very strong, and also another thing to have to look out for in this game, as they do have their net opened up again, and they have a lot of presence on their side of the field constantly. It's really hard to get it out of their net, as like I mean also dies there. It's just they have so much offensive pressure, and they're really struggling to get out of the net right now.
Yeah, huge power play coming out from Chikara Patters, and now Ryotaku and Mole Drifter trying their best, but Yabba Gabba has another flip. Ghost does have to fall back though, and it's going to be looking really scary because Otaku is on the prowl, and Yabba Gabba feeling that pressure, but still the core slips through Mole Drifter, and now Chikara Patters is threatening to take a 2-0 set lead.
Yeah, Real Taku never really got any value out of this Rampage yet either. He only has one Rampage stack, which is honestly really rough to have on the second set here. But yet again, if they can scale like over time, this Rampage will get value in the later sets as it does reset every set, right? So if they in the future do get some success here and they manage to not die, they can really scale this Asher pretty hard. Because unfortunately, I do think that Asher was not able to get primetime bad draft, so which is like the awakening you don't want Asher having Tao Temple. However, aside that, Larry and Loris actually managed to get a point there, giving this some space to breathe in this point, letting it be 1-2.
Yeah, great point from Force of Will, but Real Taku does get their Rampage stacks reset, and that's going to be really rough because Otaku barely had 2 right there. And Ghost coming up from the top side, trying to shotgun it through, but Larry does have a great strike war, takes it, has a core flip as well, so they got to watch out there. Starfish rescues one, but couldn't get both, unfortunately. But that Atlas barrier holding strong, only loses 1 actually in that really threatening situation. Now Ghost and Starfish have to sync up perfectly, especially because Drakkar has that siphoning wand. Okaku coming in from the top side, gets it through to Starfish, finds a nice out clear though, and now Muldrifter rotating it down bottom. Strike shot misses. Core flip has to be burned from Starfish, and now Yabba Gabba looking a little dangerous on that side, but Real Taku once again has to deal with this Atlas on the melee range, and doesn't seem like a good time for this Asher right now. Ghost does miss that Molten shot, but Yabba Gabba comes in with the flip, and now with the Rose Warp, and now Ghost was able to get that second barrier and is coming in to fight the Rasmus. Once again, shotguns it through. Muldrifter does hold 1. Starfish has on strike on cooldown, loses to Real Taku, and Ghost has to find some kind of opening here. Larry looking low. That might be the key to victory right now. Nice hold on the bottom, getting it through. Larry finally backs it up with a strike. Real Taku was not in position, and now, but the projection with the secondary, Starfish strikes it, but not in the right direction.
That was an unfortunate strike by Starfish there. And honestly, this point 5 is looking really good for Force of Will right now because they also managed to reset Yabba Gabba's stacks. He's now only at, or they're only now at 58 stacks, which is honestly, like, it looks really good for like Force of Will here, as if they're able to like get this out of the pocket here, they will probably be able to like rotate it pretty efficiently, as like Yabba Gabba like down on the stacks, and also Real Taku still not getting as much Rampage stacks either, so honestly both stacks here are not getting that much value this set, as their bodies are kind of flying as we see Otaku fall off the court right there, unfortunately. But yeah, there is honestly a lot of damage here, so it's kind of scary to have these scaling awakenings.
Yeah, Ghost going through, has a core flip though, it's going to pass Yabba Gabba, unfortunately goes for a double barrier, wasn't able to get it. Muldrifter was on top of things, has the hook is out though, and now Larry looking dangerously low. Starfish misses the strike shot once again, but this does buy time for the Aimi to rotate bottom with a core flip. Yabba Gabba chunking down, but the orb was there, and now Ghost is the one looking low. Atlas does save them with the Celestial Intervention though, and Yabba Gabba has to dash in to flip on the Aimi, so threatening, has to respect it, and Yabba Gabba does. Nice rotate from the Taiko, and Yabba Gabba gets pulled from the hook. That lets her get the offense on, but the 3-man defense from Force of Will does mean even so they get it through. Chikara Patters, and now both nets are open, but Starfish has to flip, and Ghost gets the Strike War win and set lead 2-0 from Chikara Patters. Breakson, this is a scary position if you're Force of Will.
There's an unfortunate interaction from Muldrifter there, and that does lead. Actually, this is not that bad of a draft for them, as Drakkar will not be getting Missile Prop here, and Heavy Impact and Spec Training are both on the board here. I do believe that the Aimi should be taking Heavy Impact here, as they have already been playing for damage, but unfortunately Estelle is the one who managed to get Heavy Impact, which actually might tip the scales of damage in Chikara Patter's favor, as we do have Siphoning Wand Drake with Stinger, and then they also have the Estelle, who now has Heavy Impact, adding a little bit more damage on their side of the field, while Ghost goes for a Siege Machine, which is honestly, I don't believe he had many other options that draft, was a little bit unfortunate, and Ami does get a little bit of survivability as well, peak performance, and honestly gives him a little bit more speed as well, so that's not too bad either. Gives him a little bit of speed to contest the Estelle, who has stacked on 1. So I'm curious to see how this set 5 is going to go. It seems like there wasn't a clear winner in this draft, but it does seem like the damage is leaning towards Chikara Patters, as we are seeing Hero Attack getting taken off the court right now.
Yeah, Tao Temple bouncing, and oh, unfortunate glitch pop does save that core. Larry knows she did ping. Sorry, Starfish, great save. Another bounce off the Temple that gives momentum to the Patters. I mean, this was their map choice, I believe, so they're using it to their really great advantage. Ghost wins Strike Wars time and time again. Larry clearing it out though, buys time for Ryotalk to come back towards the top side, trying to keep it in that corner. I don't think they have turret though, and it's looking really scary because all the Taikos are gone on that side, so one shotgun might be the end of them. Secondary coming out from the Atlas does mean that he only has an actual projection, I think, to work with, but Yabba Gabba with the core flip just holding strong for Chikara Patterns, and now suddenly goes passing it through, and a Rose Warp into the Crystal Thorns. Great clear from Muldrifter. What could have been a risky clear does work out well for Chikara Patterns. Flip used from Yabba Gabba. This means that they can take the second barrier with Force of Will. Starfish has a core flip though, but is out of position. Yabba Gabba, great link, and oh my goodness, Muldrifter not able to get there in time. And continuing their momentum is Chikara Patterns, looking really strongly poised to take this first map.
Was unfortunate position for Muldrifter there, I agree. And it looks like Chikara Patterns are looking pretty comfortable there as they are starting to be able to scale up their stacks on stacks, and they are getting a lot of damage on the other team as well. So they're looking pretty in control in terms of like the damage department. Like the Siphoning Wand Drek is honestly having a lot of value, just being able to chip away those HP bars, on top of the fact that his ult also has DOT, so this Drek card just has so much DOT, it's kind of disgusting. Like, it scales so hard to the point where it's actually kind of a scary threat to like have to think about on the defensive side for like Force of Will right now.
Yeah, the damage over time just stacking up over and over, and Larry has to buy time, but is getting chunked in the corner every time, every skill that comes out. Rose Warp coming out, but Larry does find it out there. Otaku has a core flip and might need to use it now, especially with that secondary coming out, and does. Great play on the side of Force of Will, showing signs of life.
Yeah, this set is looking like honestly pretty close. Like, they are getting damaged, but despite the fact they are managing to be able to convert here. Like, Real Otaku is only level 7 right now, which is kind of a tale that he is definitely the target for the damage right now. But despite that fact, he is still managing to convert these points pretty comfortably, despite the fact being damaged all the time. And honestly, like, he's looking really comfortable right now when he isn't damaged. So signs of life are looking pretty good for Force of Will as they're up 2-1.
Yeah, I think this is the first time Force of Will has a point lead all game, and Real Otaku has 4 stacks of Rampage. I think that's the first time Real Otaku has more than 2 stacks of Rampage, actually, so it's kind of crazy. But Ghost is walking up from the bottom side, and once again, there's just a cluster of bodies of strikers in this bottom side of Tao Temple, and Force of Will have lost both barriers this time, but this time they finally return to favor, not taking the first barrier. Starfish saves even that. What an angle. Larry, great rotate up with the cyber swipe. Starfish doesn't use core flip and gets the core out. Has to use it here though. Gets past Ryotaku, who struck a little too fast. Ghost coming in, has a core flip. You have a Gabba close to a core flip as well, so this is a really scary offense. Missed pendulum swing can mean everything from Force of Will. Shotgun coming out, has a core flip as well. Baits out the hook and strikes to the bottom. I mean, Ghost, this is a really patient play, and it's really working out for Patters.
Yeah, honestly, the patience on Ghost is honestly super valuable as like a Drakar players. They strike primary, and if you strike delayed primary, if you're good at doing that, you are a good Drakar brawler. The only other thing that you really need to learn on the character is how to like hit off the edge. But other than that, yeah, CHK has honestly been doing a really good job as Drakar. Like, it's honestly kind of like a pretty solid matchup against Rasmus too, I feel like, just because the primary, he doesn't really have many options to kind of counter it, because besides secondary really, but despite all that, actually, the core flip down to CHK Ghost gives them the set point winning the first game 3-0 for Chikara Patters, showing why they went undefeated in the pools.
That was a huge first map for Chikara Patters, and I gotta say, like, the team offense that they were setting up was huge. Like, just Yabba Gabba to Ghost, back to Yabba Gabba again, just trying to go for whatever their win condition was. I mean, it ended up being, you know, put the core in the corner and just beat up people until they can get it through, and it really worked out here. And I think that really wore down Force of Will until they weren't making the proper decisions. Like, for example, I think when Ghost was doing that flip on the second to last point, you know, Muldrifter had the option to put the hook downwards to cover the bottom side of the net, exactly where Ghost aimed for, but Muldrifter opted to, you know, hit the hook directly towards Drakar, and just tried to control the timing, I guess, the core would be speeding towards him. And I'm not sure if that was like the a play that Muldrifter would have made necessarily if it was in a right state of mind, but Real Taku did hit 6 stacks of Rampage at the end. I think that's a good sign for Force of Will. It shows that they know how to play their condition. Like Otaku can get through. Starfish isn't immortal, but my goodness, Force of Will really worked hard on that midfield there and made sure that the pressure was taken off from their goalies' backs. And great strong first map here for for Chikara for our Chikara team, Chikara Patters.
Yeah, I agree. Overall, I think Jakar Pass did take control of that game, but I do also think that Moldrifter, I think he is the kind of player who, he wants a strong start. I think once he has a strong start, he's like a very strong player. But I feel like he does have the mental bad. Like it does kind of get to him when he is down a set. But that being said, he is like a soldier. Like this guy will constantly be put down, but he always gets back up again. Like he's been doing this for 3 seasons, and I mean, everybody knows that he definitely is pretty verbal about about his things every once
Wanting
in
to
a
win,
while.
right? Like,
Yeah, he
yeah,
wants to win. He
yeah,
wants it badly. So, and I'm honestly hoping that he does manage to bring back game 2 here and bring it to a very intense game 3 here. But that being
yeah,
said, I don't think he played that game too badly. He 82 saves, not that bad. I do think there's really a lot of times where he was just kind of made a panic decision, which honestly is pretty common in OCS. I feel like there's a lot goalies, they are really good at finding the clear, but it's the level of play where they're not always consistent at it. Like the best goalies find the clear 95% of the time, but in OCS it's kind of maybe 60 to 70% of the time I would say, and it does kind of get punished a lot. And I
yeah,
think CHK Ghost and Yappa Gappa were actually really good at taking advantage of the bad clears because they honestly kind of rotated around the rest is pretty solidly. I feel because in that last
yeah,
point, they did that perfectly. It was just core flip past the rest and you put it in the bottom corner. And that's honestly really just really strong in general in OCS. Passing around the goalie is a very effective tactic. Believe it or not, especially when you're playing against a melee goalie. And although Rasmus isn't exactly a melee goalie, I still think the same thing applies to him because he kind of has to commit to a pendulum swing to intercept the pass, I feel. And that's only if he has enough size to do it in the first place, or if it's a pass fake intercept in the first place. If he's playing in the corner, he can't really intercept the pass. He kind of has to rely on his midfielder because his pendulum swing isn't actually that far, which is kind of the thing for most melee goalies. So he does kind of have that weakness as well. I do think he does have the hook though, which is kind of a gambit. If you really want to cover the out clear with a hook, that's always good too. Another thing that I kind of like to do on Rasmus as well is hooking the brawler to strike it away from them. Now that's kind of inconsistent and it doesn't it's not always the right thing to do, but
mhm,
what it's an option that you can do, if the midfielder isn't covering the corner, you can kind of just hook the brawler and pass it through, and then it'll go through the top side or bottom side, whatever corner you're going it to. That's pretty good. And
yeah. I mean, like Rasmus, I think struggled a little bit more than I think he might usually would into more traditional brawlers, because it was a Drakkar, right? Because it's a little harder to hook Drakkar, get him off position because he has a shotgun. He it can reach places that maybe an X or a Juliet, like displacing them with a hook, couldn't. So Muldrifter had to get a little more creative, and definitely I think there was some luck in the awakening pools as well, because I think Real Otaku and Muldrifter would have really benefited from a little bit more solid size awakenings. Maybe like built different would have been really nice. Demolitionist would have been nice, but they didn't really get those either, and uh, so it was a little bit of a rough start here for Force of Will. We'll have to see if they can turn it around. And this is their map, I believe. They chose Demon Days, and they're getting a Demolitionist, which is a size start. So we'll see if they can make it work this time. But Shikara Patters here, they banned Fini. They banned Muldrifter's Fini. Force of Will actually has a no ban, which I don't know if it means that they made a mistake in the drafting tool. Oh, sorry. But yeah, so we're going to be seeing how it works.
Yeah, the reason why they have a no ban this time is because Drifter did unfortunately have his name off, so they don't get to have a ban unfortunately. So it seems like they first pick the X. Perhaps that might have been their ban of choice. I do believe. Actually, who's the brawler? Oh, CHK Ghost X. Honestly, I will say it. CHK Ghost is probably the most flexible brawler, like in this league. To be honest, I've seen him in pools play Julie.
Oh,
And
that was
like
X,
now he's
huh?
playing Drakkar, and now he's playing X. I do think I saw him play X in a couple pools earlier too as well. So honestly, like really flexible pick to be honest. I think he is definitely the most flexible on his team because like we are seeing the Ivy of an Atlas again, which actually Yabagava did play Estelle, but Yabagava is known to be an Ivy player. I believe that was like their old one trick, but now they are a two trick, maybe even a three trick, possibly even a four trick if we're crazy. But I
You're
don't
just
know.
at
I
that
don't. I
point,
don't.
is it really a trick? It's just you just have a character pool at that point. Um,
You know what? That is true. See, I personally consider myself a 24 trick pony. Uh, I got a brawler on everybody. But with that being said, though, I, like Starfish is actually on the Alice and Demon Days, and I think that's honestly a very, very solid pick on Demon Days because it's just a really strong counter to damage, and it also is pretty good at damage, especially on the brawler. I like to say that a lot, but Alice is actually really good at just bullying the other, like the brawler on the enemy team because every option he has to like take the core away from you also does damage to you. Like when he presses Atlas Primary on you, you're losing the core, but you're also taking damage, which is really strong because if your midfielder knows how to like cycle your abilities on that guy who just got hit, it can honestly just be like a really good way to just deal damage. And on Demon Days, that is definitely a valid strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Starfish looked really comfortable on that Atlas. He was making clears that, and he was holding barriers that I thought like wasn't holdable, and he was making like narrow clears that I thought would graze the barrier for sure. And the fact that unfortunately that Force of Will couldn't ban that Atlas when they were wanting to have like a Vice Zen comp, I think is going to be a little bit painful on their side. They it was a mistake last time when I said like we're gonna have to see if the Vice can chunk through the Atlas. It's not now. Like we're actually seeing a Vice, and we'll have to see if the Vice then can chunk through that Atlas. It's gonna take a little bit more coordinated and planned out damage sequences than we are used to seeing in low level games. But Force of Will, they have been practicing together. They've been in OSAS together for multiple seasons. So if it's ever a time for them to come together and power through, it is this time. It's right here, right now, because they are on the ropes. They are behind 0-1 to Chikara Patters, who are looking to make it to the grand finals.
It is true, and I also want to point out that X is historically a pretty easy character to do damage on because he is very slow. So I think that could be a win condition if they focus their damage on the X here. I do think that they can have a lot of success because like X is a very strong pick in Demon Days, but he's a very feast or famine character. I think he's only very weak in the early sets, and if you're able to take advantage of that, that can definitely be the case here. As like I think the X is aware of this, as he did take Bishop Van Braces.
Yeah, that's a great first point coming out from Force of Will, getting all three of their characters to level 2 here. Yabba Gabba, who actually died, did hit level 2 now, and once Starfish hits level 2, the game is on for Chikara Patters as well, and they're off to a great start here, already taking the first barrier off of well-timed strike, and now Ghost trying to run down, trying to force some plays, but great flip from Ryotaku, but this does leave the Zentaro dangerously low, and they're going to have to watch out. An expanse, a projection is going to leave Otaku cracked and vulnerable, and there it goes, a great glitch pop from Yabba Gabba taking them off the field, and now it's a power play reverse from Chikara Patters. Larry uses that long cooldown supernova, but gets there with the core flip, can get the open net coming in. Was the glitch pop from Yabba Gabba. Starfish didn't, they did save the goal, and now Farrier, second barrier coming through with the turret, gets it. Chikara Patters looking to equalize the barrier count coming in, glitch pop, Larry and Lyres, and Otaku coming in, but the core just slips through both of them. Bellringer does lose the core as well though, and now Muldrifter does have a core flip, and that's going to be a big advantage in a map like this. Glitch pop not quite fast enough yet to slip it past Muldrifter. A EI rush coming out from Otaku, unfortunately not able to get the core, and this is Demon Days with open map situation, and these sound barriers are going to come in clutch. Nice Oni's blade, but right to Ghost, who just knocks it in the bottom of the net, and Chikara Patters are back.
Also unfortunate for it to break it even. However, like, I would like to point out, the Zentaro took Siphoning Wand, and honestly, I'm surprised that Vice didn't take Siphoning Wand either, because when the Zentaro takes Siphoning Wand, I know that it's not as like meta anymore, but like on Demon Days, I think you can definitely get away with it now if you're playing hard for damage. But like double Siphoning Wand was a thing when it was like super broken, but everybody kind of got used to playing the Awakening a little bit, so if you have some experience there, it can definitely have some value. And if you were definitely a Siphoning Wand abuser back in that patch, I think you do have enough like experience to be able to make that pick work. But unfortunately, it looks like Jakar Patters are now up 2-1 with an unfortunate secondary from the Muldrifter there.
Yeah, the Whiplash, unfortunately, hits it into the own goal, and that's the kind of pressure that an X and Aimi barreling on top of you creates. And Larry, yeah, like, she doesn't have Siphoning Wand, which means that they're looking for more midfield control once the barrier is open, but they have to get the barrier open first. Now's their chance. They do get it. 2 barriers to none, and Larry, oh, unfortunate teleport, uses the flip to salvage it, but the projection comes out, and Force of Will relying on Real Otaku, who does make it happen, and huge point here from Force of Will, both mentally and score-wise.
Yeah, Force of Will has now made it to 0.5 in the first set, which definitely didn't happen last set. So they're looking good right now. And I also like to point out, I just noticed that the Atlas took Orb Dancer. So despite everybody taking Demolitionist, which is like, you know, definitely very understandable in Demon Days, Atlas decides to agree a little bit with the Orb Speed. And to be honest, I actually kind of respect it. I really like Orb Dancer right now, I'm not gonna lie. It's not very conventional, but I think on goalie picks specifically, it is still very pickable, even if it's like not Atten. It doesn't really matter what map it is on the goalie. It lets one be able to walk up once we take their orb, which is honestly like a really powerful if you know how to like walk up. And although I don't think Starfish specifically like his playstyle doesn't really line up with that, but if he is willing to adapt to that and like start using that orb damage to walk up, I'd be curious to see some like Atlas Brawler action, not gonna lie. It is Demon Days, so like everybody is both a midfielder, brawler, and everybody is also a goalie at the same time, because everybody just kind of like moves in a unit because of just like how close like this map is. Like it can be really congested, and it can be like super chaotic as well, as we're seeing right now.
Yeah, Real Otaku getting split off from his family unit as he's looking cracked and low, but still a great primary to prep. Real Otaku almost taken off the field. Larry walking up to the top side. Muldrifter rotates it down, but Real Otaku needs a little bit more time to get that core, and unfortunately wasn't able to get that. Trying to displace Ghost with the hook, but doesn't work as Axe Maximus just triumphs over all, and Chikara Patters once again in a great set lead, 1-0 set lead.
CHK Ghost is the MVP of the set, which is also really good to see as the X, because as the X, you definitely want to be the person that scales the most, and even though in the early sets, you're not going to get MVP very often, but that clearly isn't the case today, as X does manage to get extra special, which not only is a very good pick for him, it takes it away from the Vice as well, because you definitely don't want Vice to have extra special. It is definitely like one of the, like, by far the scariest awakening to have, especially in an early set, because there's still heavy impact, there's still spec training, and although like there was a Super Surge, which is also like really strong for Vice in my opinion, but like they don't get that either. But that's all good because they still get Glass Cannon, which honestly is kind of a slept-on damage awakening. As long as you don't get hit. Actually, hold on, this is Demon Days actually. No, I don't think that that Glass Cannon pick is a little bit questionable. But that's still good because like Zentaro does get Super Surge, and that still has like so much value, not gonna lie. And honestly, Zentaro's been looking pretty good, despite the fact that this is a patch where Zentaro isn't considered that strong. Real Otaku is still like finding some good value out of it, because I think like Vice Zentaro is a really strong comp in general, because Vice does all the damage, and then Zentaro also does a lot of damage. But he's also known for having EBAS kill confirms, like for a conventional brawler. Well, honestly, I say just say for a brawler in general, to be honest. He might have the best kill confirms in the game, because he just needs 2 abilities, any 2 of his abilities, and he can kill you from like mid-screen, if you know how to do it.
Yeah, they do need to get those kills though, and Yabba Gabba just perfectly fine with walking backwards real quick. Ghost and Starfish more than enough to keep the pressure on against Force of Will right now. Ghost hold with the hook, still putting on a lot of damage, and Taro is looking so low. Ghost wants to save this flip, uses it to get a goal, converts immediately into value, and now Chikara Patters their engine started moving, and it's not stopping. They're running over everything in their path right now.
Patters is looking really strong right now, as despite the fact that they're getting the damage, it doesn't seem to matter, as they are able to convert these points right now. And I just realized, like, Atlas does have a team player, which allows them to rotate the core back to their side a lot faster now, which could be definitely very scary in the openness scenarios in overtime. So if these get to overtime points, like, Starfish is going to have so much agency over this game.
Yeah, Starfish already making the rounds, especially with this orb. He's going to get a lot of speed soon. Yabba Gabba just racing back with the core flip. Muldrifter actually taking control. He was an ex-brawler, that's true, and quickly Ryotaku with that Muldrifter buff gets that quick 2 barriers. Yabba Gabba is forced to use a flip, held in by Oni's blade. Yabba Gabba rotates it up to Larry and Lyres, who has a core flip, but they want to kind of beat it out of her, but this isn't going to happen, and Ghost and Yabba Gabba both low on energy, low on health, and Yabba Gabba is the one taken off the field. Power play, rare moment here from Force of Will, and they really want to make this happen. They want to take this point before Yabba Gabba comes back in 5 seconds. Starfish using the core flip to get it out of harm's way. Larry gets it through, but Starfish makes it there in time. Ghost gets it past Ryotaku, and Starfish reacts, adjusts the position downward, and using the secondary from Atlas to get a nice clear secured. Larry wasn't able to teleport there, and now Muldrifter has to hold, and it's Ghost and Yabba Gabba clear the angles. Ryotaku coming in with the core flip, but might not matter. Zentaro passive is up, but Starfish gets there in time, and power play gone, and Force of Will, what do they have left here? They have energy on Ryotaku, but Ryotaku is looking really low, and Yabba Gabba is doing great. Strike Wars, just making sure that the core doesn't get through Ryotaku. Ghost even using the Bull Rush to secure that core in that place, but the map's now open, but doesn't matter with the Bell Ringer. Gets it past Muldrifter, gets it into the net. Chikara Patters on set point. This is looking really, really scary if you're a Force of Will fan.
That point was really unfortunate because the whole first half of that point, like, they kind of had control on their side of the field. Like, Force of Will was looking really good. They were the first to open up the barriers, and for the longest time, they were actually able to run on offense, constantly playing damage on, like, both the defensive line, which was looking really good. But the moment that overtime hit, Starfish was, like, able to just rotate the core to Yabba Gabba immediately. They lost the barrier, and then shortly after that, they managed to get the open net, and then shortly after that, they started playing damage on Ryotaku, and, like, he wasn't really able to, like, put in any position to, like, put, like, you know, to contribute to the play, because he was getting staggered, and he really doesn't want to lose the burst, but, like, they were able to convert it right after overtime hit, and that's kind of their win condition right now. They're able to stall out this damage and not die, but, and, like, not lose before, like, overtime hits. They are looking super comfortable.
Yeah, the awareness on Starfish and using that premature core flip is huge, and Yabba Gabba gets yanked, sure, but does use the turret to keep the core in control. Ryotaku dashing in with the Zentaro passive with the strengthened attack, but still, Chikara Patters just getting through it all, and even takes the second barrier and gets it through once again past Erasmus, and Muldrifter wasn't in the right position for the barrier, but the timing between the barrier opening and the goal gates opening and the core getting in was so quick he wasn't able to adjust. And now Yabba Gabba, welcome to first pick of this draft. We'll have to see what she picks up, but lots of strong awakenings here.
Yeah, I think Timeless Creator is definitely one that she should be looking at, as that has definitely, like, historically been a really strong awakening on 90 consistently. And on a map like Demon Days, honestly, I'll for a peak performance, which is honestly just as understandable. If you don't want to get shot, that's also completely fair, but I think Timeless Creator does solidify their win condition very well as well, because, like, once you get that turret going, the team starts to have to, like, if you're able to convert barriers, they have to start eating the turret bullets, right? And if you have Timeless Creator, those turret bullets are going to last a lot longer and are going to be a lot harder to dodge too, so that could be a really scary win condition. But peak performance is also not that bad either, and considering the fact that they actually took in focus last draft, which I didn't even notice, they might just be opting to try to, like, keep themselves alive here and get value out of that inner focus.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see them actually systematically kind of deny Ryotaku from getting any survivability awakenings or anything, but as I say that, Ghost is taken off the field, so power play here for Force of Will, and they got to hold once again here. Chikara Patters, they got to weather the storm 4 seconds until they come back. A little bit of unfortunate Vice Chain Lightning coming in, turret coming down as well, but still power play is thwarted. Nice secondary from Starfish, making sure to clear is happening, and Larry dies with core flip in hand, and unfortunately Force of Will once again turns from a power play to a reverse power play, and Chikara Patters, it's all, this game has their name written all over it here. Ryotaku rotating it through, but Oni's blade comes out, holds the core in place, and Starfish just puts it in a perfect spot for a pass to Ghost. Muldrifter, great clear upwards, Larry coming up, but eats the secondary of the Atlas, and now once again retreat here for Force of Will. Lowry holds the midfield. Glitch Pop, though, coming out. Turret coming out. Moldrifter does rotate. Ryotaku takes the turret bullets, but Ghost, once again, great Bell Ringer coming out, and a great Cyber Swipe. Goldgate's kind of helped Moldrifter here, who is getting wailed on by Ghost, but I think it's going to be a little rough. Ryotaku gets the second barrier with the core flip, though, and Starfish is answering. Unfortunately, his core flip didn't generate that much value. Secondary even coming out, and now Lowry and Otaku have a real chance at breaking down these gold gates because Moldrifter has a core flip very soon, and Yabba Gabba has a core flip as well. Doesn't use it quite yet. Does want to use it, but they're feeling the nerves. You can see Chikara Patters, they're not invincible. They're definitely feeling the nerves here. They're using core flips where they shouldn't use, and a great great clear, just straight upward from Moldrifter, not cranking out a 90. Trying to wait this out from Larry, though, and the Glitch Pop in position, trying to get it down to Ryotaku, but a great Cyber Swipe from Yabba Gabba, but Larry is up there, trying to wait, and a teleport down, unfortunately, wasn't read from Moldrifter, who has a core flip, but still not using it, and Ghost just X Maximus is in, and Chikara Patters just not letting them just continuing their momentum, not letting Force of Will get in the word edgeways.
That was a very intense point there. Like, it was a really long overtime point. And once again, like, Chikara Powder is kind of thriving these long points right now. But I also like to, like, circle back to the draft for a second here. Like, so I'm getting Monumentalist and not getting any survivability is honestly kind of the Giga IQ, like, draft on behalf of Chikara Patters. I can't lie. I never realized how, like, hard they won that draft until I realized that, like, nobody really got survivability. Like, they can really pick on the Zen right now. Like, I'd say nobody got survivability, but Vice did get Reptile Remedy, and like Moldrifter got Volca, but that doesn't matter because they're just picking on real Otaku right now, and they're getting so much value out of this as well because like it's hard for him to commit to a play when he's just going to get damaged when he walks up.
Yeah, Ryotaku here with his Taro straightened passive comes in, dashes in with the slice and dice, but Larry gets caught off out of left field by Ghost. Ghost just uses the flip. Ryotaku's gonna be so damaged that they're not gonna want to participate in any plays. The Bell Ringer just threatening enough, and coming in with the pendulum swing. Great clears from Moldrifter, and nice rotate through. Even reached the glitch pop, but not that one. And now once again open barrier. Nice EI rush, but Yabba Gabba is there. Oh, and an unfortunate glitch pop into Larry Supernova means that Force of Will finds another footing, finds another foothold. But Chikara Patters, will see if they step on that gas again and run over Force of Will.
They finally breathe signs of life in their game here, and although Otaku is definitely getting damaged pretty badly, and honestly, like they have Vice and Taro, but they're becoming they're the prey right now. Like they are really struggling on behalf of like the damage department right now. But despite that fact, they are managed to hold their own right now, as they did manage to get a point. So even though they are getting damaged pretty badly right now, hopefully they will be able to score despite the odds, as Otaku is still getting staggered again.
Oh, the odds are looking so low. Otaku is taken off the field. He had no evade. He had not enough speed, and the glitch pop coming out. Moldrifter does clear with the pendulum swing, but this does give time for Ghost to come up right in front of Moldrifter's space, getting it past Larry, who does teleport there, wins the strike war, uses the supernova, and now buys time. Power play is now over. Force of Will is back at full force, and the turret coming down from Aimi, unfortunately, still keeping the core in the corner. Ryotaku, as soon as he's back, is just brought down to super low health. The Oni's Blade coming in. Oh, unfortunately, the straightened passive misses. The straightened strike misses from Zentaro, and Starfish just finds the cross clear down to Yabba Gabba, even healing himself, and the Bell Ringer through Moldrifter. What are you gonna do? You gotta press evade at that point, but now we're at match point. We're about to see Patters just sail on into grand finals here.
That was a really unfortunate sequence of events for Force of Will right there, as they did almost manage to kill the Atlas, and they were looking prime to, as he just popped his res and was still staggered, but unfortunately, the really well-aligned like Bellringer from X there was able to put in the point, saving them the point there. Unfortunately, would have been pretty likely that had gone like 2-1 and putting them in advantage there, but that was crazy Visal from Iron Lords there, checking up the X.
Yeah, unfortunate Cyber Swipe from Yabba Gabba as well. This is the perfect recipe for Force of Will. They've had this for about 3-4 points now, but unfortunately Starfish always held strong, but this time he doesn't have, I believe, the expanse quite yet. He does have a flip now, though, and the power play is over. Larry coming in. She also has flip, waiting for the rotation, but Starfish is so aware he's not going to do like an easy, lazy rotation. Using the flip is Larry, but does lose to Ghost, who seems to have everyone's number right now. Yabba Gabba glitch pop misses. Larry is there, trying to answer, but oh, the bull rush into the X Maximus. Ghost seals the deal, and Chikara Patters go on into the grand finals. And Force of Will, they're going to have to deal with La Creatura waiting for them in the losers final here. And wow, what a game on Demon's Days. I mean, this was Force of Will's map breaks in, and it just Patters just smashed through them.
Yeah, they definitely had the right comp. They definitely had the right idea with their their Vice midfield Zentaro and like Rasmus, right? But they just weren't able to like execute the game plan, and the draft wasn't in their favor either. They were forced to get survivability because turns out they were the ones who were actually getting shot. And man, the CHK Ghost went kind of crazy this game. 7 KOs and 8 goals, like only 98 redirects too. Even struck 3 digits. That's a real baller right there. I think he might, like, I don't know what kind of main this guy is, but he might be an X main. Because he definitely just showed that he was the king of Demon Days.
Yeah, Ghost was looking really scary that game. I mean, I know Ghost has a Juliet, and I've seen like I've seen these 2 other picks now, the Chikara and the X, and this pool's looking really scary here for Chikara Patters. They seem to have a lot of variability. Starfish actually hasn't been challenged off the Atlas, but I mean, that was so good, the Atlas plays. It's a real demoralizer when you're playing in the damage comp and you see all those skills being dumped. You use your EI, you use your Slice and Dice, you get the Thunderstruck going on, and then Atlas just puts the Celestial Intervention, and oh, Ryabagaba's back up to full health again. Look at that. And I mean, just well-deserved wins, great execution from Chikara Patters, and I think Force of Will, they're gonna have some homework to do. They're going to meet like Kultura. They're going to have to work through the kinks that they have. And when they come back, if they come back actually to face Chikara Patters, they're going to have to show a different them at that point. But guys, we are going to come back. We're going to be continuing to follow Force of Will down to the losers bracket, down to Chikara Patters. And we'll be right back for that. All right, guys, we are so back. Pato and Breakson here. This time we are back casting our losers final. La Creatura versus Force of Will. La Creatura was the third place in our round robin stage. They did lose to Force of Will before, so this is their chance for revenge here. And they're meeting Force of Will here on Gates of Obscura. And this is another high value awakening start. We have peak performance and we have heavy impact. So how do you feel about these comps and starts, Breakson?
I do think that both of these comps are lining pretty heavily towards damage. I'm not gonna lie. We got the Drakkar Brawler and then like the Luna Goalie, I see. And also Estelle, which all three of these characters have really strong damage just passively in general. And then on the other hand, maybe not as much so, but you kind of have to commit to damage a little bit harder. But Kai and Asher, along with the Atlas, is more of a defensive pick, but they are going to be really, really potent in stuffing the corners, as Asher on Gates of Obscura is definitely kind of known for that. So I am going to be seeing a lot of... Oh, actually, yeah, it seems like La Creatura is going for more damage, while Larry and or First of Will here are looking for like core control, as we still all pick up peak performance.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because against Luna, you don't really have to do much damage. You just kind of stuff it through if you're Real Otaku. Unfortunately, the Barrage does make the core go awry, but once again, Real Otaku just kind of stuffing it past the Luna. As a tiny little girl, can't do much, but Dogito's here going in with the Crystal Thorns. Core threatening to slip through the portal, but doesn't. And a Luna ult coming out, but unfortunately, it's going to slip through. Slime Slinger's clutches, and Dogito's can't win the 1v2, and there we go. Force of Will this time. They are starting in a great position.
Yeah, it looks like they have a game plan, and they are executing it very well, as they put Otaku in the corner, they stuff the corner, and against a Luna goalie, there's not really much that Luna can do against that, to be honest. Like, she has been historically known not to be able to do well against stuffing, and we've already seen this in full force, as the Asher-Luna matchup is kind of miserable.
Yeah, great corner offense coming out, but Muldrifter is able to hold the barrier until the very, very end there. But power play is thwarted, but the shotgun coming in anyway. Lowry looking low on the energy department, but Slime Slinger too late on the core flip, and now both barriers are open. The Giga doesn't reach, but Muldrifter is waiting there. Slime Slinger missing the dash is going to be really painful here for La Creatura. Otaku coming in with the primary. The core does slip through the barrier though, and now Slime Slinger is walking up, dangerously low on energy, but Kuriyami finally gets a chance, and now the Expanse comes out and the 1v1 opportunity ended. Lowry just slipping it past the Luna once again. Force of Will looking really strong here against La Creatura.
This is looking like a complete 180 from the last game here, as not only are they up 2-0 in the first set, but Muldrifter is actually playing Atlas right now. Like, last game it was Starfish on the Atlas, but this time it's actually Muldrifter, and he actually opted to take Mom Boots on Atlas, which you don't see very often.
Yeah, I think Muldrifter getting a lot of speed here is good, as he was able to walk up and expand projection just like that, and a great core flip score from Real Otaku here. And I think this just shows Dogito's really good getting kills, but once the offense gets on Luna's side of the field, it's going to look really dangerous. And here we see Real Otaku rewarded with some awakenings. Yeah,
we have a couple interesting awakenings here. Super Surge is honestly, like, I think awakening that people would be looking for, because we do have a Kai and we do have an Estelle. It's not that bad on Drakkar either, and also the aerials pickup for Estelle and Kai are also really strong, but I think either of them are going to take it here if I had to take a guess. Estelle does take the aerials. I think it's definitely her best awakening this draft, and it takes it away from the Kai, who I also believe really, really likes aerials. So, but overall, he still gets explosive entrance, and Drakkar is kind of just left with Temple Swing. Didn't really have any options left in the draft there. And Luna also gets Hotshot, which is a bit unconventional, but I actually kind of like Hotshot Luna. And on a map like Gates of Obscura, where you're getting stuffed by the Asher, having some more core speed on those outfits can be very helpful.
Yeah, Lowry looking really low, even despite the peak performance, and Estelle's beam can reach anywhere. Lowry has to watch out. The second barrier going down. Kuriyami also looking low. Core going through portal. Dogito's great patience waits out Lowry's commitment before going, and Dogito rose warping up, so the core doesn't go through portal, and Striker Kuriyami saved by the portal here, dodging, trying to get their hands on Lowry. Muldrifter walking up really aggressively with the Mom Boot, but on the other side of the field, Kuriyami is there. Real Otaku is able to save that poor redirect, and is going to let Force of Will try to hold out this power play. 3 more seconds until the Kai comes back. The core does not go through portal. The shotgun, though, is weighted out, and Lowry is back running towards with the vigor, and now Doggitos wasn't able to get that corner kill. Means that Luna has to deal with a corner pressure from Asher once again. Core does slip through portal though. Kuriyami, great dribble coming out. Slimeslinger once again misses the flip chance. Does get the Core through the portal, but Roll Drifter is waiting. Core going in with the pass splitter with the barrier beam, and Slimeslinger uses the Core flip, is unable to get there, but still wins the strike war. Commits against Larry and Roll Drifter, and Lakritura coming in strong on the second set.
Akira is looking a lot more comfortable now converting with those power plays, as the moment they got that KO, they're able to take both barriers and were able to convert enough of an advantage to get the first point here, which is looking really good. And once again, I just like to say, I just realized that Luna nuke is definitely something that I have to think about, as like when you have so many energy economy like that, that nuke can threaten both of those bursts with one button there, and like we did see that come out. And honestly, it's probably gonna look a lot like that a lot in the future. Because like if this Luna gets like extra special or even like spec training, you have to respect that nuke a lot more. And like extra special a lot has like honestly really scary on Luna, because it lets you burn the base so much faster, and like that can be really strong with the damage comp like this, as Jakar and like both Striker Kuriyama and Doggitos have been doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, one good thing there, Striker Kuriyama actually misses their first strike, but that was a good thing because it let them wait out the expanse unknowingly, and Moldrifter kind of walking too close to the sun loses against Doggitos and Striker Kuriyama, the twin threats here, and now they get the core through. Larry and Lyra's great barrier, great barrage, but unfortunately not going to happen, and the Rose Warp from Doggitos seals the deal, and Lakritura looking shaky, but they're getting the points, and you know, at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Actually, I just realized, Volt Drifter took Omega Infused Accelerator, which into a damage comp like this is honestly really scary, and is also kind of showing just how hard he's committing to movement speed on the Atlas here. Like, he took Long Boots, which is movement speed, he took Peak Performance, which is survivability, but also movement speed, but Omega Infused Accelerator, which scales negatively with Peak Performance, as you get less value out of Peak Performance the longer you are alive, because, like, Omega Infused Accelerator, as you know, takes away your HP. So, Volt Drifter is coming hard to speed right now, and it's kind of shooting in the foot, as we just saw that he died in the last point.
Yeah, I think one big thing is that currently, like for sure, relying a lot on, oh my goodness, the point. They're relying a lot on just killing people off of the edges. Moldrifter's not getting chunked down via damage over damage, so I guess he's feeling a little bit egotistical, I guess, so to speak. He wants to, like, you know, like Blue Lock, right? You want to channel that ego, want to get that stuff done, but not if Dogito's right there, once again taking Rio Taku off the edge. Larry, though, dribbling her heart out. The Giga Blast coming out, going straight to Moldrifter, but Slimeslinger waiting at the other side of the portal. Piercing shot comes through, misses. Astral Projection right there. Slimeslinger, Valley Time Strike is going to lose a barrier for his transgressions, and now Rio Taku just shoving it in the corner time and time again. Moldrifter to 600 speed Atlas, dashing through and getting the second barrier for the team. Was Larry's core flip there. Slimeslinger wins the first strike war against Otaku. Kuriyami almost taken off the field from the Giga Blast. Does survive though, but does abandon the post for the tasty orb. And now Doggitos has to buy some time, but Moldrifter is so fast right now. And Larry and Rotaku just collapsing on the Luna. Lakritura threatening to lose the second set all of a sudden.
First point of this, like, or first half of the series was like really convincing for Lakritura here, but unfortunately it looks like they're able to compose themselves, because Force of Will is looking very comfortable right now, even though they have kind of been dying off the edges a lot, as like Lakritura is kind of like channeling their EKSA energy here. Like, Kuriyama and Doggitos both looking a little bit like NXCD right now with how often they've been going for these edge KOs, but right now it's looking like they aren't able to like get as much like convert as was they were earlier in their set, as like we see. Real Otaku kind of bodying the Luna in the corner, and now they're up 2-0 already.
This is looking really scary. I mean, Slimeslinger 24 locked into Luna after seeing the Asher, so you got to kind of prove yourself here. You got to show and prove. Luna can make this happen, but unfortunately, the score is anything but that. And now we see some awakenings. What do you see here, Breakson?
I am honestly looking at that bulk up. I kind of honestly, I respect the size of the Asher, but bulk up is also really good considering the fact that you do have peak performance, and Asher is kind of the character that scales off of Sticker the best besides Devious, so it's always like super comfortable to be able to take that. But yet again, there's a lot of size awakenings in the draft that like she would have to give up on if she went to go for that. So at the same time, it's not a terrible decision. And once again, Moldrifter goes for Glass Cannon, building up more movement speed. This guy's going to be flying across the court with this Atlas right now.
Yeah, I'm tabbing to see Muldrifter's speed. He was at 611 before being knocked down by some stray shotgun pellets. So this is going to be a really scary Muldrifter if Striker Kuriyami does not put the Atlas into place. Pass Splitter coming down. Now this is a nightmare situation for Luna. A big meaty shotgun, but unfortunately the core still stays in the corner. But Striker Kuriyami does get that kill onto Larry, and Larry's bulk up isn't going to save you if you're getting knocked off the edge here. Real Otaku being brought down low health-wise. Doggitos wins the strike war, crucial against Muldrifter. Now the Luna Nuke comes down. The core staying in the corner. Otaku almost taken off. The piercing shot is going to seal the deal, but Slimesinger does not shoot it into the portal. And now Larry so fast with the Giga core going through the portal there. Slimesinger does give up his position. He's walking back instead of putting back, excuse me. But Doggitos coming out, shooting Muldrifter now. Muldrifter looking low, and now you're going to regret taking that Omega Infused Accelerator of Arrogance. And Striker Kuriyami shooting the core. Unfortunately misses the angle, but Doggitos coming up, Luna Nuke coming down, and the Giga Blast saving Force of Will from the hour play, but the core is still in the corner, and Larry looking low all of a sudden. Expanse coming out. Slimesinger finally uses the core flip, and defensively, but still the core slips through, and Larry and Otaku collapsing on the same side, and there we go. Core slips through. Slimesinger 24, Force of Will continuing strong.
Now, one new pickup by Real Otaku is also looking pretty strong here. He's kind of just setting the core all over the place in overtime. But once again, I'm seeing that Katrura has developed the game plan, and it is funnel damage in the corner and kill people. And it is looking pretty effective as they do take down both barriers, but unfortunately it's kind of the reverse, as Slimeslinger was actually the one who got shot this time.
Yeah, Doggitos trying to force it through, forcing a cross clear because he knows the corners are just impenetrable here from Otaku and Larry if they play it correctly. One covering the out, one covering the corner, and now they have both barriers open. Barrier count equalized. Great dodge on the pass splitter, but Slimesinger getting beat up. Muldrifter is so quick right now, but the core control lost all of a sudden through the portal place. Doggitos and Kuriyami coming in. Slimesinger coming in, but the expanse is so huge, and the shotgun though, left click, right click, does Striker Kuriyami, and that's exactly what La Creatura needs.
Left click, right click is all that your car needs, especially after Alex just like used up his spatial expense on the bottom side there, and like that's kind of all that you need. Like if you can save your cooldowns from all the damage to keep up like one primary and like force all those cooldowns away from the Atlas, that's your win condition, to be honest. Like the more efficient that you can be with your damage, the more like the better you can get your barriers, and that is kind of what I want to see from Striker Kuriyama right here, as he used his strike primary to take both barriers just now.
I mean, huge, and Slimesinger finding the outclear once again, trying to buy some time, but misses the dash, and that's going to be really scary because Muldrifter has a core flip. They really want to save this though, and Slimesinger unfortunately gets caught by the pass splitter. That's going to be a 2-1 lead. This is match point, so if La Creatura has anything else up their sleeves, they got to pull it up right here, right now.
Yeah, their offense is honestly looking pretty good. Like, La Creatura definitely can do, like, a lot of success once they get on their side of the field. But once again, you have to deal with Asher Luna goalie matchup, and that has clearly been showing that is definitely a huge choke point on behalf of there, because even though they did just get the kill, they are still down 2 barriers, and they really struggle in these scenarios, because, like, it is Asher Atlas, but despite that, they're actually getting right now.
Huge.
So I take it back. Like, they're now 2-2, and they might get like their first set of the series here. They might be able to reverse sweep if they get the next point.
Yeah, that was I can say that was like some great Luna piloting from Slimesinger 24. Looked a little shaky, but did stick the landing, and yeah, really got to thank these two forwards for getting a bunch of kills. I mean, Muldrifter's taking Atlas. He has Celestial Intervention, but I haven't really seen an effective one so far going through a portal. Muldrifter is there. He's ready. He has 600 speed. He has 620 speed. But Luna Nuke coming down, though, negates all of it. Slimesinger misses the Luna drive, and Real Taku just going to slam the pass splitter, the barrier beam on top of him. And now, once again, oh, what an outclear. Striker Kuriyami does have a one-on-one chance. Doggitos coming in with a piercing shot, does miss. And the shotgun into the left click this time. What a mix-up from the Drakkar. And that's going to give La Creatura the break that they needed.
Drek mix-up, and because of that, he does manage to get the MVP. Striker Kuriyama did definitely put in a lot of work to be able to get this MVP, as they got a lot of kills off the edge, and they were able to convert afterwards, getting a lot of barriers and a lot of points. And it looks like they could be rewarded with a prize fighter here, and Snowball, their play style, super hard here, actually opts for a build different. That is very interesting. I definitely probably would have taken the prize fighter here, as that is very, very scary to be able to take, but thankfully, Luna does take the prize fighter, being able to scale her damage a little bit.
Yeah, I think the built different pickup is to deny the Asher. I think Drek is playing the brawler here. He wants to get that size. And I think they've kind of realized that, oh shoot, maybe Luna kind of not good into Asher. We need to find those out clears, and if Ryotaku's big enough, they're not going to find any soon enough. And Slimesinger, unfortunate location on the eject button. Got to see where he lands as well. Striker Kurami loses the 2v1 strike war, and now core back. Like Kuchira back on their back foot once again. Lowry saves the core with the barrage, but Dagitos was waiting there past the portal. Oh, Slimesinger wins the strike war. He's trying to pilot himself the best he can, but the core is just slipping through like a sieve. And oh, and this corner strike, Lowry is right there, but he dodges the barrier beam and lets the core get out. Oh, a great Luna nuke as well. And now the Striker Kurami coming in with the shotgun. Dagitos is here. Oh, and great core flip, killing Real Otaku. And La Creatura have something good, something positive on their hands. Waits out the barrier, waits out the barrage. This astral projection coming out. I don't know if Moldrifter has any more cooldowns, but does buy enough time for Real Taku. Dagita's using the Rose Warp. Slimesinger coming in. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the goal angle, and now Dagito's trying to make a portal play. Does have to use a core flip, but Larry reads the timing perfectly, and Slimesinger does find it. And Dagitos is blocking the passing. Go Striker Kurami 1v1, but the astral projection thwarts it. Once again, the barrage coming out. Dagitos wasn't able to react in time. Slimesinger was, though, and now Kurami here with the core flip. Core slipping through the portal. Slimesinger was there, gets the clear, and trying to get it to Dagitos, who loses to the Giga. Real Taku misses a dash, but Slimesinger unfortunately wasn't able to get there for the upteenth time, and Larry finds the goal.
That was an insane point right there. A very intense overtime point as Force of Will was able to get the point, which is looking really good. And something like to point out, Otaku did get stacks and stacks here, but he did lose it in that first point because I actually think that stacks and stacks was kind of a scary pickup in this game where they are playing really hard for damage and they are succeeding. So that's like stacks and stacks might not get a lot of value because on the other side of the field, on the other scaling week that we had this prize fighter, and Slimesinger was able to get one stack prize fighter, which I wasn't paying attention too hard, but I do believe it was off the Asher, which is honestly really good. So if they keep getting KOs and scaling that could be really good. And another KO drops from Kuriyama. However, one last thing I'd like to say is that like Estelle's primary is sending disgustingly far right now. I noticed that at the last point where it is like really crazy how much his Sumba has right now because Estelle has heavy impact, explosive entrance, and Deadeye. So if that hits at the peak of the range, that is sending you back extremely far.
Yeah, Crystal Thorns extending the core to Kuriyami, who is trying to find out 1v1 with Moldrifter again, going through the portal. Otaku is there, though. The 90 stacks just enough to let him get a taste of the core. Rose Warp, though, coming in through Moldrifter. That speed isn't going to save you now. And like Richura finding their footing, looking good. And once they get those prize fighter stacks up, I think it's going to be really, really scary here for Force of Will, if they can get the prize fighter stacks up.
Absolutely, I didn't see any prize fighter stacks from the last point. It was Striker Kuriyama on his own getting those KOs there. Luna not really committing to damage right now too much, as like there really haven't been too many KOs the last point, and because like Real Otaku is actually at 136 stacks right now, and he's still looking pretty comfy. If he's able to get that 150 and like manage to keep that for the rest of the point, that just makes the Luna Asher max up so much worse.
Oh, this is so scary. Slimesinger is just trying to play out of his mind, but unfortunately the dash strike misses. And looking good here for Force of Will.
Yeah, Force of Will is looking really dominant here. Like, Black Creature did manage to get a point or like end a set, but I don't think they're going to be able to get a second one. Like, Force of Will keeps playing up like this. They are definitely looking for revenge, looking to get into that winner's final like now and fast, as they are definitely playing this point very well. And it looks like they might be able to convert if they manage to get on their side of the field here.
Yeah, Real Taku has 150 stacks. Moldrifter does go down, though, so it's two forwards on defense now. Full defense mode. Strike. Crystal Thorns coming out. Slimesinger waiting at the other side of the portal. That is good. Real Taku Pass Splitter used defensively, and now Moldrifter is going to be back, though, and they have weathered the storm with both barriers intact. One barrier goes down, but now Slimesinger, oh, he pilots the Luna well this time. Striker Kuriyami almost there at full energy. Just need one more ability, one more strike, and Real Taku does miss it. Oh, past the barrier beam. This Slimesinger, great aggressive strike being played, and through the portal, Dagitos wins that too. Slimesinger getting it past the astral projection, and now three-man offense from La Creature. They're going all in right here. Moldrifter goes down, Rose Warp comes out, Striker Kurami misses the strike, not quite there in time, but the core flip comes out, Gun comes out, La Creature throwing everything and the kitchen sink and the core into the goal, and it works.
Yeah, Like, Lucky is looking super comfortable now. They are getting into a groove here as now one more prize fighter stack for Luna here. But also, they are currently playing really well as they managed to take out both the defensive line there, which was exactly what they want. Especially in the set 5.5, they were able to reset Otaku stacks as well. So if they're able to get this out of here, they might be able to take this to a set 3.
Yeah, but both barriers are open, but they do get the kill. That's a reset stack. Asher, Slimeslinger has 4 prize fighter stacks on the other side of the field, so they have ample time on this power play. Even wins against the Expanse, and that's everything that Moldrifter had. He has a core flip now. That's one last lane. Slimeslinger, oh, misses the goal, and now Slimeslinger has a core flip. He's coming in, he's dashing in, but he does lose. Moldrifter saves it with his last breath. He's gonna reset now with the Celestial Intervention. Larry's so fast right now, and the nuke comes down in a perfect spot for Real Otaku. Does miss that second strike though. Larry has a core flip. He's gonna get it through. Unfortunately, she misses the strike. Kuriami also misses the strike. So many nerves, but at the end of the day, La Creatura makes it to the 5th set.
Slimeslinger 24 is piloting this Luna really well right now. Like, despite the fact that
this guy's playing initial DRI. This guy's like one step away from crashing and burning.
Yeah, this guy is Tokyo drifting all over the place right now with his secondaries contributing so much to the offense right now, and he manages to get specialized training on top of all of this. And that is looking really, really scary already just from this draft alone. There isn't really much damage left here for Estelle or Jakar here. Jakar unfortunately doesn't get his missile prop, which is honestly a really, really scary awakening, and it's definitely understandable for Alex to take it here because not only is it really scary for Jakar, it's also really scary for Alex to have this actually, because this is probably one of his best awakenings in this awakening rotation right now. I think is definitely the best, and honestly the fact that Moldrifter has momentum boost, it makes that pickup so much more valuable because you are missing out on that projectile range already, so it is really nice to have that on top of that.
Yeah, Larry trying to cover the out clear for dear life. Unfortunately, they do need 2 people. Gates has a wide out clear, and Moldrifter uses the astral projection, I think. Has Expanse left, but now once again corner pressure coming out. Oh, finds the out clear once again. It's kind of crazy how much this Luna Estelle duo is winning against this Asher barrier beam, and once again finds the out clear. Ryo Taku just unfortunately isn't able to get to the core quite yet, but now finally finds it. Slimeslinger unable to do much about it. Giga Blast coming out, but now barrier beam finally doing its work, and Slimeslinger reset stacks, and Real Otaku keeping up their stacks.
Yeah, that's honestly kind of a huge KO right now because Slimeslinger has been doing so much right now, in the last 2 sets, and being able to reset his prize fighter stacks kind of puts him offline a little bit on the offensive side. But despite that fact, he's actually holding up pretty well on the defensive. The Asher Luna matchup right now is not looking good. But Otaku was forced to take team player in the last draft, so he didn't really get scale up. But Slimeslinger got specialized training, so if they manage to keep playing well, I honestly think that it's looking pretty comfortable for Slimeslinger right now because he's just been playing against this Asher really well, despite the fact that this is a really bad matchup for Luna. But if you're able to keep it on the offensive side, it doesn't really matter that much either. But yeah.
Oh my goodness, they survived that. How'd they survive that? Real Talk is looking really low right now. This save finally by the Celestial Intervention that they've been waiting for. Striker Kuriami redirecting that piercing shot. Slimeslinger trying to walk up. This is going to be really scary here. They're in a 50-50, but Dakitos comes to the rescue. And a slightly late Expanse here. And now, La Creatura, they're making it look really, really close. They are scraping by, but the score is looking really, really close.
It's 1-1 right now, yeah, and honestly, it's looking like it could absolutely go either way. And this is only game 1 right now, but I already feel like we've gone through 3 games already. This is honestly such an insane game already. And they just keep getting KOs.
Oh, that's another kill, but this time it's on the Slimeslinger, but it's okay. They never cared about defense anyway. La Creatura, these creatures were not made for defense, they're made for offense, but Larry coming up soon. Luna is back, and Ryo Taku passed through the portal. Oh, somehow loses control of the core here. They want to make sure the barrage doesn't get through to them, body blocking for dear life. With Kuriami coming up, they want to find another kill. I think they're all on cooldown though. Astral projection comes through the portal. Slimeslinger is waiting. Great plays for now, and a great piercing shot. Unfortunately, wasn't able to intercept, but that missile does. But Giga Blast from Larry just waiting, and now La Creatura, they have to deal with match point. Force of will. They have 1 point left, 1 more goal, and they can have a lead that they wanted.
That was really well played by Larry, to be honest. That Giga Impact perfectly covering the out clear, which I think is the first time that Larry was able to successfully get that clear. And like that's something that Slime Slinger has to start worrying about. That can be really scary as Asher is a character that funnels in the corner, right? And if Larry Lars is like finally starting to like cover that out clear, he kinda has to cover like pass it through the Asher, and it's definitely unfortunate as it looks like Ataku does manage to get the point. And now Force of Will after that crazy set 5 series, they get the first game and they're up 1-0.
Oh, that was so scary if you're a force of will. Um, I gotta say, like, that was really scary. Like that was not. I don't feel that was a game that should have gone on that long. I also feel like if Luna was able to get a little more offense in, if they started to not lose the midfield after, like it was gonna be really scary from Force of Will. It was gonna look the opposite score. But what happened was that Force of Will finally started covering more out clears. Ryotaku was able to get the barrier beam in place. Larry was waiting with the barrages, with the Giga Blast, and we saw that secured. And once that out clear is secured, it was really hard for La Creature to fight back on the defense. But oh my goodness, what a fight did they put up! 17 kills for their team, and Kuriyami was 10 of them. My goodness, this Drakkar.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out, this stat line on Slime Slinger is insane. Like, Slime Slinger was playing Luna goalie, yet he still has more saves than the Atlas on the other side of the field. Like, that's just, like, kind of a testament to how well this Luna was piloted this game, and I'm not surprised if we see a Luna ban in the next game. Despite the fact that, like, Drakkar did get 10 KOs, like, this Luna managed to keep the, like, game alive for so long, despite the fact that she is just, like, a kid, like, kid in the net, but, like, despite that fact, like, she has the most redirects in the lobby, the most saves, and, like, honestly, that's kind of crazy. I can't lie to you. But, like, with that being said, like, Larry and Loris and Real Taku, and also Moldrafter with that crazy speed build, were able to really oppress this Luna and shut it down. And that was why they were able to win that set 5.
Yeah, I think Slime Slinger has. I think I know him personally for playing the lock it down goalies, the melee goalies. I know he has a Dubu. I know he has an Atlas. But this Luna really coming out and showing, that he can add to this aggressive composition. And I think, despite the Asher Luna matchup that we touched on so much, if he played a Dubu, I think it would have been less fitting in with the composition, with the rest of the composition. So I think it's really cool that like Kuchira is showing that they can do that aggressive matchup, and I think it almost worked out for them. It almost worked out for them, but they did crash at the last corner. And sometimes when you're playing that aggressive comp, that is what happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is pretty unfortunate, and honestly, I feel like if Drakkar was the one who ended up getting the prize fighter there, it could have been a different story because like Luna honestly didn't really get to stack up their like prize fighter that much. It only took it until like set 5 in the last set, and they just managed to get their 4 prize fighter stack. But if Striker Kuriyama was the one who was able to get that, then he probably would have gone not only like a lot more KOs, he would get that prize fighter up a lot sooner. I feel like that could have been like a really good win condition. So it was a little bit unfortunate that he passed up on that opportunity. I don't remember what he like took instead of
He
it.
had to take built different to I think it was to deny to Asher.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
That's fair to be honest, but honestly, I feel like I would prefer drafting to a win condition, especially when you're a damaged team where you kind of have to confirm your power plays, right? And like the Luna Asher matchup is already pretty bad, but honestly, Luna was playing so well into it where I think they probably could have gone away with it. They just gave Asher a little bit more size. Because, like, a little bit more size also lets you KO them off the edge. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But, yeah, I do agree. I think it could have been 50-50, but I'm curious to see how it could have gone if Jakar took Prize Fighter instead.
Yeah, that's definitely some things they'll have to reflect on. But they have to forget like about the nitty gritties of the awakenings at that time. They have to start focusing on what can we do a little bit better. How can we tighten ship in terms of games? But I will say I think Gates of Obscura was Force of Will's pick, so they're going to Lucky Sure is going to be on their map pick. I think there's something to be said that Lakrishura was put on a map that they're not necessarily that's not necessarily their favorite maps, and they still perform so well on blue side. And yeah, so we'll have to see what happens. Oh, next map is Demon Day, so this is interesting. So
Ooh.
maybe Gates was like Creatures. I don't know. Maybe they just love each other's maps because I think like Creatura played really well on Gates. I think Slime Singer was in the right position at the right time. And now on Demon Days, I think if La Creatura can bring their damage game like they did last time, I mean, Dakitos and Kurayami were just sniping people off maps like it was like hunting season. It looked so good. And again, it was an Atlas, Muldrifter on Atlas, right? He has Celestial Intervention. It wasn't stopping Kurayami from getting 10 kills.
Yeah, definitely not. And honestly, I think both teams here are gonna be playing for damage here. Although, like Slime Center, Dagados, and Kuriyama did definitely show a strong showing of damage in that last game. I think like Force of Will also played for damage in Demon Days, and they had like a very proper comp for it. So I feel like there's gonna be a lot of contest in terms of the damage, as there's like a might round start. That's still
Yeah, it's
that's
might.
in rotation. I
I'm
haven't seen
not
that forever.
sure. Yeah, I actually forgot that Awakening was in this game. I had to think about it a little, but maybe we'll see a remake on that. I'm not too sure. But other Awakening though, we do know what's up with that one. That one's definitely in rotation. Monumentalist. Do you think we'll see a Fini here? I mean, Muldrifter has been practicing it. You said.
Yeah, Mole Drifter is definitely like pretty comfortable in the Finny, but I would not be surprised to be seeing a ban instead because Finny on Demon Days is historically one of the reasons why she is good for the wrong reasons. And on a Monumentalist start, that's definitely a must ban. I can't see like Black Creature letting that go through because like big finish with Monumentalist on a Demon Days Barrier is like one of the most disgusting offenses like
Okay,
in the
there we go.
entire world.
Remake.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, there's a
Remake. We have
remake.
Heavy Impact and Hot Shot.
Yeah, heavy impact and hot shot. Now that's pretty scary, so there's no more monumental spinning to think about. So honestly, it is kind of possible to see the spinny go through there because like Vinny can definitely scale later on, and that's definitely a really big threat. And since Volt Drifter has been practicing the spinny like a decent bit, I would not be surprised at all to be seeing this. But on the flip side, I also would not be surprised to see an Atlas either because Atlas is also a really good counterpick to damage. And considering the fact that they did get shot pretty badly in the last game, they might try to adapt to that a little bit more with just like just running Atlas again, to be honest.
Yeah,
And I think
Atlas
on it
just play better, win more.
absolutely. And although there were a lot of edge KOs in the last game, I don't think that is something that happens as often on Demon Days because Gifts of Obscura, that happens a lot because you're always running corner offense, so like you're always in that corner pocket and the midfielders like along the edge line and like sometimes the brawler too. And it's super easy to snipe a KO from that, which happened a lot that game. But Demon Days it doesn't happen as often because like most of the action happens like just in the midfield line or like really close to like the barriers, which isn't really too close to the net. And like on top of that, there's also those like weird, like I don't even know
Down
what you call them, like
waves.
the waves, yeah, the waves on the edge of the map, which kind of doesn't really like want you to stand in that area either. So once it's an open net scenario, people don't really stand on the edges that often. And we're actually
Ooh,
seeing
Dubu.
a Finny ban. So they did in fact ban the Finny. They didn't want any of that, which is understandable. And they did in fact ban Baluna as well, which I don't blame them after that last showing. That last showing was extremely dominant performance of Baluna, despite the fact that they lost. And that means
I
that
Juno Hot Shot. We are here.
ooh, I
Pick
know.
six as well. So everybody just let Juno go through.
Yeah, that's honestly pretty unconventional for Demon Days, but despite that, I still think Juno is pretty good at passively just doing damage because of all the slimes. And
Oh
considering the
yeah.
fact that Demon Days is a pretty congested map, right? You can absolutely get away with doing a lot of chip damage. And who's the brawler here? They have Drakar Brawler. I think that is definitely still a very strong damage comp. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
And
I think I think it's definitely a strong damage combo. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, sorry. But Dubu on top of that too, I don't think Dubu ult has a lot of pressure on this map, unfortunately. But despite the fact, I think Dubu is still just a very consistent goalie, and considering the fact that that was banned in the first game, this is still probably a really strong pick for Slime Slinger, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kind of curious to see if they may go for damage as hard this game.
I think Dubu as a whole, right, it doesn't lend itself to, you know, just stacking damage. It's kind of like if you touch Dubu, he will touch you back and push you off the edge of the map kind of situation with the summer assault with the log, with the tofu fortress in the corner. But we'll have to see. I am interested. I think Dubu is still more aggressive than Atlas, and I do think that's why Slime Slinger picked him because again, Slime Slinger 24 does have an Atlas, I think. So it's gonna we're gonna see if that Dubu works better, or if they're gonna be really wanting that celestial intervention. They're gonna be regretting their choice of Dubu. But I want to say Muldrifter here blocking into Rasmus again. He's been really feeling this Rasmus. He picked it against the Patters. That didn't work out too well, but he went back to his comfort pick Atlas, and then now he's back on Rasmus on Demon Days. So I feel like this is a comp, like this Vice X Rasmus comp is something that Force of Will really wants to make happen. It feels like something that they've really labbed. And I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happens here because once again, this is a Rasmus versus Drek matchup.
I do believe that like Wolf Drifters actually like played a lot of Rasmus. It was probably if I remember correctly, it was kind of his original goalie pickup because like you like if you're kind of new to like the Wolf Drifter lore, you might not know this, but before he was a goalie, he was a brawler, and he played like a lot of brawler. But I think he swapped to goalie for OSAS. But before that, he was a Rasmus one-trick brawler. So that's probably kind of like where his
Uh,
comfort comes from on the Raz. But like
I'm not
honestly,
sure though. I'm not convinced because he switched to goalie for a reason, right? He didn't switch to goalie because he was like, yeah, I'm great on brawler, right? He probably switched because he's like, I'm better at goalie, so we'll see. We'll see if that comfort works out. But I think, I think Bull Drifter had 4 games, 5 games, 4 games, yeah, 3 games to warm up his hands now. So, Rasmus, we'll see how it gets piloted this time. And I mean, it's the comp that they've been going for, and we'll see if they make it work. But this is against the Juno though, so I'm excited. I like seeing Junos.
oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm noticing immediately there's two Van Races getting picked up here, which considering the comp on the other side of the
Huh.
field is completely understandable considering the fact that we have real Otaku on the X and then Larry Lures on the Vice, which is insane damage, but unfortunately, real Otaku did own goal almost immediately, and also the Juno here is already getting a lot of value on the passive damage, right? Because like just stepping into those slimes does so much damage.
Yeah, Real Taku's looking really low, and Striker Kuriyami does not miss these. Dogitos does miss the dash, but it's okay because Wolf Drifter also misses the clear, and Lowry trying to rotate it past Slime Slinger has the roll though, gets it past that Chain Lightning, and Kuriyami just wins that 1v1 against Wolf Drifter. And yeah, it's so hard if you're not, like some Atlas that can just spam expanse. It's just, you gotta win these strikes.
Yeah, it's definitely really hard in the Rasmus. You have to have the hands ready to go almost always. However, I would like to point out, Rasmus has also historically been a very consistent pick on Demon Days as well, just because his whole pick is kind of designed to passively do damage, and if you can't play this pick well, you're going to be doing a lot of damage and also defending the goalie. Defending the barrier, I mean, and that's very strong. So if he's able to be able to do that and board that game plan, and be able to turn this damage around in their team's favor, it could look really good on their side of the field.
Oh, huge core flip, huge somersault from Slime Singer, and Kuriyami trying to jet it past. Moldrifter hands were ready though. Ryotaku switching places with Dogitos. Isn't taken off the field, but doesn't clear backwards, and that's gonna be really rough. And now Otaku is getting beat up, but dodges, and now, core slips through though. Kuriyami is there. Nice hook though from the Rasmus. Kuriyami didn't die, which is good. Tofu Fortress coming down, really trying to force that issue onto Tofu, and now Moldrifter kind of getting stunned on. Kuriyami is there trying to get that right click going. Unfortunately, isn't able to connect with the right click, and now Slime Slinger has to deal with a Force Will power play. Larry coming in, Moldrifter coming in, Otaku bull rush in, Somersault makes things happen, and the Law getting it past, but the angle slightly off, but Juno is back. Otaku misses, but second time's the charm, and Slime Slinger loses that strike war.
It's 1-1 now, and it's looking a lot more competitive as the damage also is a lot more competitive, as we're definitely seeing a much more intense back and forth in terms of damage here, because and honestly, that's kind of impressive because it's really hard to play for damage in the first set here against double Vans, right? Because that's so much healing, and if they have control of the core here, it can definitely be really hard to just take one person off the field because both of them have Van races. Both the forward duos are really opting for survivability here in the early sets.
Yeah, Dogitos doesn't look as comfortable on the Juno as was Estelle. Kuriyami's putting on a real big show on the other side of the field, and you can see that Bambrace just chunking up his health back to more than half, and that Orb's gonna just get him back to complete safe zone. But on the other side of the field, we see just Dogitos unable to keep up with Larry and Otaku, and I think that Bambrace on Juno, unfortunately, is making him unable to keep up with that speed being put on from the Slicks and Mags.
I absolutely agree. I think that Van Brace on the midfielder is pretty questionable, especially when you're on a character like Juno, who benefits so much from both Maxwell's and Slick Kicks. I personally think that like Slick Kicks, she's probably one of the biggest like Slick Kicks abusers because like she just uses her strike so much, like out of all the midfielders, and like not having that is really scary. But like maybe be able to get some move speed like later on in the sets here to be able to scale up and make up for that deficit.
Yeah, like Creature buying some precious time. They have one barrier. Doggitos and Slimesinger line up. They really want to get that corner kill onto Larry. Real Otaku is there with the flip though. Slimesinger very cognizant of that, and the slime going through. Just like Kuriyami looks for an up clear. Moldrifter does clear down though. Doggitos back there using the dash. Finally coming in with the Blobos in the back. Throws the friend fling. Otaku tanks it. Half health is going to use it to take that second barrier now. Both goals are open. And oh, a backwards roll from Slimesinger 24, or should I say forwards. But in this case, it wasn't towards the core, and that's what mattered. First set taken from Force of Will.
Was an unfortunate roll indeed from Slimesinger there. Built a mechanical mistake, which is honestly kind of understandable after an intense game on that Luna. It's probably a little bit of whiplash to go back to the Dubu here. A much slower character that doesn't really move forward as much. However, I'd like to point out this bulk up, very high value pick. This is like X's favorite awakening, besides maybe like quick strikes and like actual specialized training there. But that is all good because like bulk up on X is really scary, and when you're playing a Demon Days map, that's really good. However, Kuriyama actually got peak performance here, which I believe Vambrace is. Okay, never mind. I thought Vambrace was based off max HP, but it's not. But still, that makes it a lot harder to remove Kuriyama off the field here. And I just got Super Surge, so kind of making up for his lack of movement here, and might be able to get some value out of that.
Yeah, no Monumental is needed from Dubu, is able to get a kill onto Larry just like that. The hook coming out from Rasmus. Moldrifter this time does not miss the follow-up strike, and once again it's Kuriyami and Doggitos kind of making this triangle formation. Oh, but the unfortunate redirect onto Slime there, making sure that the core is escaped, but still Black Creature is leading on that department, and Larry gets that core going, and Kuriyami trying to get it rotated toward the backside. Doggitos is there in position with the slime, back passes it to themselves, and now trying to get through. Oh, Moldrifter just taken off the field. Kuriyami has a killer instinct and using it, and Larry wasn't able to react and teleport in time, and just crazy kills coming out from the Jakar.
Yeah, that heavy impact having so much value, also another really valuable way to do that on Jakar, and kind of makes that strike primary, even though in the combo I guess you don't strike, but that makes primary really scary to just kind of use something that you just kind of have to respect if he's really close to you on the offense here. And honestly, with this core flip, that's also another thing to have to worry about, since he can just kind of primary, core flip, or like, he can use that to kill or just to like get point, and that's also both super effective. I think core flip primary on Jakar is actually really strong because if you're in front of the goalie, that also hit stuns them, and it's not reactable at all. So that's just a really good pickup.
Oh, Kuriyami was a little bit greedy there, wanted to have their cake and eat it too, but that meant that he is going to be taken off the field, but Doggitos does take revenge. Nice hook from Moldrifter, unfortunately wasn't able to get much done with that, and Kuriyami is back, power play is over, and core goes right into the loving hands of the Juno. Kuriyami gets the second barrier, power play is over, but Force of Will's barriers just are gone, and Otaku's looking really low. Now he has to run away. Blavo's creating so much forward pressure, missing the strike, missing the shotgun, but still wins the strike war. And La Creatura, they're coming back once again.
Yeah, La Creatura, like, lost first set, but it's looking like a complete 180. They are taking this with so much confidence. It looks like they've won the first set, and they didn't really skill too hard in the draft either. So they kind of just like playing a lot better than they were in the first set.
Yeah, Larry coming in with the Supernova. Everyone just gets out of reach, and the Blobo friends. Oh, but unfortunate positioning from the Dubu. Loses with the full flip in hand. Doggitos just infinite trust put onto striker Kuriyami. This time betrayed, and now Force of Will come back 1-2 off of the back of a great kill on Slimesinger 24.
Yeah, KOing the goalie there was very effective, as we saw. They were able to convert very quickly afterwards, and that's also not something that should happen very often, right? Like, killing the Dubu on Demon Days with Pauldrons, although it is definitely Demon Days, it's still not an easy thing to do at all.
Yeah, good whiplash from Muldrifter here. Gets the core flip as well. The Blobbo's coming down. Striker Kurami just wins. I mean, why bother with dealing with core flips positioning-wise if you can just do that and the lock comes in. Larry is back just in time, though. Slimesinger, great evade. And Dogitos finds that angle. And now Kuriyami is almost taken off the field. But no, Dogitos! Where did you find that?
I don't know what happened just now. Like, I'm surprised that went in. Unfortunately, I think that might have been a misplay from both Muldrifter and Larry on the defensive line because I don't think that should have happened. And now there's like this Juno's getting the pick of a leader here after a pretty strong set. And I'm honestly not really sure what like Juno wants here. Like maybe a prize fighter actually. I think that's X. Yeah, that's honestly pretty understandable. This X has bulk up heavy impacts. Take a prize fighter and start killing you back and skill out of control. Really difficult. Make it really difficult, but X does still get extra special, which is honestly another really high value awakening this draft. Like both X and Vice really wanted it, but there's no way Vice is going to get that in this draft because like he had to get it for the Juno and also the Dubu. But X still gets that, and that's another really strong awakening on the X here. This X is looking really strong, and we're only 2 sets in.
Yeah, oh my goodness, Larry, what a supernova. And Slimesinger unfortunately goes for the offensive strike. Otaku just beating them out. Striker Kuriyami just shotguns it past 2 people. Oh my goodness, and takes a barrier. Hello. La Creatura back on their feet after a great supernova from Larry. Force of Will just needs to follow up on these moments, but they can't seem to. Striker Kurami brought down low, but using the Van Brace to full extent. Law coming in. Shotgun not quite ready yet. Oh, Dogitos and Slimesinger 24 just kind of like passing each other like ships in the middle of the night. Coming in. Oh, Real Otaku, great bell ringer position. Slimesinger uses the roll for defense. Dogitos trying to get the core out of here. Striker Kurami losing strike war against Larry, but Muldrifter is there on the lower side. Bell ringer coming in. Supernova coming in, but that Slime Slinger's Tofu. Oh, nice hook. But Larry does trap it. Has a core flip though. Is going to use it. Nice defensive core flip from Larry. Salvages and a great dodge. Striker Kuriyami sets up a 1v1 with Muldrifter. And the Slime was there. It's a 1v2. And Pat Larry's with the shotgun. The fan of the bullets from that aerial is actually working so well for La Creatura.
Honestly, kind of one bad draft, I can't lie. He's got like his bootleg missile prep right now. And that's a little bit increased to his dash speed, which is also not that bad to have in general. Like, it's not really something that you think about very often, but it's still definitely, like, it makes you faster when you go invisible, and that's definitely something you can take advantage of in terms of positioning. And, like, that aerials, too, is also, like, really, really strong in Jakar. That's the real reason why you pick up aerials. And, like, it honestly just adds so much threat range, too. His primary in general, making strike primary that much stronger.
Oh, it's looking really scary. Muldrifter uses the flip and is unable to get anything except for their own barrier. Force of Will. Larry trying their best, but is in range, and Muldrifter's too late on the hook. This means that La Creatura is up 2-0. They're at set point.
It's looking like they won that draft, like, really hard. I can't lie to you. They're making this set look super convincing. They're able to win their first set last time, and now they are running away with this game right now. With Juno's like Blobbo buddies are everywhere right now, and just make it really hard for Muldrifter to find a clear on his side of the field.
Yeah, even there, Dogito's not taken off the field by Real Otaku after the bell ringer, and Dogito's trying to use their friend to their fleeing, and Slimeslinger gets an X-Maximus. Real Otaku off the field. The Dubu is hitting back, and Kuriyami does miss a strike, but the Tofu Fortress is there. This is looking so scary. Dogitos is there to pick up the remains. Slimeslinger has a core flip if they want to use it past the Supernova. Doesn't even need to. Kuriyami going in with the flip. Muldrifter trying to buy some kind of time for Larry to come back, and she does, but Kuriyami once again, the core slips through, and there's a core flip. There's a shotgun. La Creatura up 2-1.
It's so hard to do anything there in that situation when Drake has core flip in the top pocket there, and he gets MVP again. Kuriyami kind of running away with this game right now, and he gets access to his missile prop. This is looking really, really bad for Force of Will right now, because not only that,
no.
There's also
the shotgun's about to become a rifle.
Yeah, like not only does he have missile prop now, he also has aerials, which gives him so much range with his strike primary, and on top of the fact that Juno is behind him, they are covering so many options for clears right now, and it's so hard to deal with this as Muldrifter when you're just a little Rasmus.
Okay, if I'm Larry, I'm taking Amon Titans. Okay, there she goes. Dogitos might have hamstrung themselves with the double dash awakenings, but we'll see how it works. But it was obvious a deny for Larry, right? But like it is funny to see, and a great supernova from Larry once again. Force of Will starting off really strong. Real Otaku finally getting their hands onto the core. X Maximusing in. The second barrier finally falls, and the core slips through. And Juno's back 3 seconds. Oh, but the Bell Ringer, Mulldrifter does use that hook finally, though. And now they have a passing angle triangle of friendship. Striker Kuriyami and Dogitos, those have a stronger line of friendship, I guess. Dugu's back in 1 second, but does not matter. Otaku finally connects with a good Bell Ringer. And Force of Will finally the break that they needed.
That power play was looking endless, as just as Dugu was about to come back, Juno gets taken off the field, and they're able to get a point after that too. This is looking completely different from the first set here, and it looks like Force of Will might be able to take it back if they can manage to get these power plays, string them together to be able to get their points.
Yeah, Mulldrifter looking a little more comfortable under Rasmus, using these backward hooks. Oh, Kuriyami getting a little greedy there. Slime Slinger's Tope Forge is coming down. Striker Kuriyami doing a 3v1 in the bottom and just winning it all. Slime Slinger does lose a 1v1 against Real Otaku, though that means that they have a second chance. Bell Ringer coming out. Dogitos hamstring himself with the dash. Not used to that change dash speed quite yet. Otaku there with the core flip as well is going to use it. And Slime Slinger bad roll means that Otaku's bottom corner shot is going to connect.
This is looking like a completely different story than what the draft might have told you, because despite the fact that Missile Prompt Drek is now a threat and exists, it is not looking like that matters at all, as they just can't get an advantage at all. Like, he has to spend core flip, and he just spent like a lot of his cooldowns trying to kill attack and didn't get any value out of it. They are looking like they aren't playing as comfortably as they were earlier. It seems like this lead is definitely starting to get through their heads.
Yeah, Kuriyami's kind of limit testing, so to speak. He's going for Real Otaku, not getting to kill barely. But this does mean Doggy is taking off the field once again. Slime Slinger using the core flip. We'll see if they can salvage this point. But they do need to, though, because this is set point here. Mulldrifter using the hook to kind of reset the situation. But that does mean Slime Slinger gets a chance to reset their cooldowns as well. Juno is back. Power play is over, but still Real Otaku making it happen in the net.
Otaku looking so strong this series with the X, like a very solid 3-0, all thanks to him. Like, and Holly God was just like a little lizard, Reptile Remedy. Like, that didn't really add much to his kit. But on the other hand, we have spec training for X, and honestly, with extra special bulk up, like all these awakenings that you have, I don't care about the Vice behind you. I'm taking like specialized training 100% of the time.
Yeah, Vice has Stinger as well, and the passive Chain Lightning is going to do a lot of stuff, and yeah, a lot of damage here coming out from Force of Will.
Absolutely, and the size is denied from the Rasmus goalie, which is absolutely fair in this scenario. I do not think that you want Rasmus to have size here, especially after such a consistent, like, very solid set from Force of Will there. I definitely don't think you want them to scale any more than they already can, but at the same time, Mulldrifter still gets team player, and that can be really scary, because if these sets go to overtime, we saw that in the last series with Starfish's Atlas and his team player, that really made it really scary once, like, the overtime hit, because it was really, really hard to get it off their side of the field, because it came back right to their side almost immediately. But it doesn't seem to matter as Striker Kuriyami gets the first point, brings like set 5 in their favor, 1-0.
I mean, we just saw the Luxury Shura Demon Day special where they just pack all the creations into the bottom corner. They somehow Force of Will can't clear it up to the top corner, and then they just lose both barriers and lose the game. Great left click, right click coming out from Striker Kuriyami as well. Bell Ringer coming out, Law coming out, Dogitos rotating down. Larry put down so low. Striker Kuriyami hunting there with the shotgun, with the Molten Blast, and Mulldrifter finds the out clear. Larry coming down with the Thunderstruck as well, but losing the Strike War twice. Oh, Slime Slinger, they are at match point. La Creatura is threatening to tie it up on Force of Will's home ground here.
Once again, this is a complete pivot from the last set right now, as, like, despite the fact that Otaku got his Biss, now he's the team, like, he's on the side who's getting 3-0'd, as, like, Kuriyama got Missile Prompt last set, and that's, like, Jakar's Biss, but he lost 3-0. But now Otaku got his spec training, now he's losing 3-0. It's a little bit unfortunate here, and on the other hand, it looks like they are playing for damage very well right now. They might be able to swing things back as it stands.
Oh, that Bell Ringer was meant for Striker Kuriyami, but Dogitos just kind of leapt into that line of fire. Is going to get taken off. Slime Slinger trying to not use the core flip, but that means that Force of Will has a chance with the barrier. Real Otaku here. Slime Slinger needs to not die here. He needs to live. If he's going to save the flip, he needs to save it. But he looks like he's getting beat up by Real Otaku for days, and it's going to be really scary once that bull rush comes through. But on the other side, Force of Will here losing. Oh, and Slime Slinger not quite in position. He was beaten out of the goal arc, and that's going to mean Force of Will still in the game.
Yeah, Attack getting a point in for Force of Will here, bringing it to 1-2. And on a set 5 like this, that's very important. And Lightning Warriors, I didn't even notice, has stacks and stacks, and somehow managed to hold onto this as they're currently at 108. Honestly, if they manage to bring this to 0.5, and they still have those stacks, that could be a really, really big boom coming into 0.5.
Yeah, I see Larry adjusting, not going to the corner as often. Striker Kuriyami trying to get Muldrifter, actually. Muldrifter does use a core flip. Oh, the slimes are waiting. Hello. Oh, the emotes maybe interfering with Dogito's ability to see. Unfortunately, Slimeslinger, great rotation. Dogitos has double dash awakening just from one side of the field to the other. Slimeslinger, bad roll, bad roll. Dogitos is there, though. Great clear. I mean, Slimeslinger has to buy Dogitos something after this. He needs to buy Dogitos if they win. But great rotation upwards this time. Muldrifter is there waiting with a pendulum swing, and Real Otaku taken off the field. So much to stun, so much to power from the Tofu Fortress coming out. Striker Kuriyami there. Oh, Slimeslinger has to dodge this, but wasn't able to react. Larry, perfect supernova coming out. Got Chain Lightning though, a little bit dangerous. He's looking low. Oh, great core flip. Unfortunately, Muldrifter was there ready. He is on top of things. Real Otaku dashes. Slimeslinger answers. Dogito's missing the strike. Does get that out though, and Striker Kuriyami trying to get the shotgun. Is gonna get past it. Otaku not taken off the field. They have a chance. They have a chance to bring it up, equalize it 2-0. Oh, Dogito finds a pass angle. Somehow, someway, X Maximus is being weighted out by Slimeslinger. He has pauldrons. He can wait. And that nice slime is gonna get the barrier, but Slimeslinger, oh, does he have a roll though? He rolls! He wins the strike war, but now Real Otaku is here. Oh, he hesitates for a second. That's all they need. Striker Kuriyami is here. The hook! No, not the hook! Lacritura ties it up.
That is such an unfortunate hook. Once again, though, strike primary, your card does work, but unfortunately, when Erasmus does hook backwards, there is no strike to primary, and your card locks and loads. And I wouldn't be surprised if Vetricar was the MVP of that series, as they played it very well.
Oh my goodness, that was a close game. I mean, Lacritura and Force of Will seem like they're, you know, very well matched against each other. It's very fun to watch, but oh my goodness, that Dubu has done big things in their little hamster life. 4 KOs. Every time Otaku or Larry try to make a corner offense happen, they don't push forward sometimes, not because they don't know that. They're just scared of the Dubu because Slimeslinger can come in, somersault, Tofu Fortress, and suddenly they're taken off the field. And Lacritura are really showing their force. They know how to kill, they know how to tussle, and I'm not sure if Force of Will has had to deal with a team that fights back as strongly as Lacritura in the killing department.
Definitely not. Like, Lacritura has been showing such a strong performance in terms of damage, and like you said, this Dubu played damage very well. Once again, Pauldron's Dubu, very strong pick, and back in the day, this actually got nerfed because this used to be a very, very common pick. Like, you'd see it outside of Demon Days, you start seeing it like Tao Temple and Gates of Obscura, but then you start seeing it in places like Night Market, which is like a little bit more weird, and like, if you want to go really crazy, in the open maps like Atten and Inkies. But like, yeah, his somersault used to kill way further than it used to, but even now, it still KOs from such a disturbing distance. And with some recent changes to Dubu, where Log Somersault is actually a true combo now, or like very close to a true combo, like, this is a lot of like so much kill potential on this little hamster. And like, I really shouldn't say it a little hamster. This is like a giant hamster. Like, I don't know if you got any size awakenings, but like, just Dubu with power project alone is so big. And I'm pretty sure even his base hit like strike box is a little bit bigger than the average striker too, which is just like another thing about this character you might not have known. I might be spreading misinformation on that, but if that is the case, or like isn't the case, I think it might have been the case back in the day. I'm not sure, but yeah, they were able to bring this to game 3 now, and honestly, I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing, like, I wonder if we're going to see an X in game 3 as well, because I think Otaku did in fact play X game 1 as well, and like Kuriyama, both these brawlers actually kind of just playing on their comfort picks. Otaku on the X and then Kuriyama on the Drakari. And honestly, I wouldn't say Kuriyama is actually a Drek player, but he's definitely super comfortable on it. But I know Kuriyama for like the Erasmus. Like the Erasmus is also like a really strong pick as well. So that's definitely something you might get to think about going into game 3.
Yeah, actually, maybe that is why Muldrifter kept insisting on Rasmus on that Demon Days game, maybe because Kuriyami does have a Rasmus. Maybe it was a dual intent pick. But I'm not gonna lie, if I'm Lacritura, I'm gonna start I'm gonna start looking to see if I can limit Otaku a little bit more. I'm gonna start seeing because Otaku is a very known, X player. I think he was almost like an X1 trick. He seems to have an Asher, he seems to have Zentaro, but I will say he does look the most comfortable on the X. So I would put him. I would see if I can kind of trim his wings a little bit, and I would I know like Kuchura has banned the goalie. Did they ban a midfield on game one? I think I will let those off a little, and I think I would try to see if I can bring down Rio Taku's power a little bit more. Just because I think Bull Drifter has been looking a little more shaky on the mechanical plays. I'm not sure if it's the ping or if it's the nerves. Both can happen in Osas, but yeah, like I feel like even on Atlas, which I think is Bull Drifter's one of stronger goalie picks, I think the expanse has been coming out a little late. Maybe like some flips have been held that shouldn't have been held, and some interventions have been missed. So we'll see if that kind of thing happens. Because this is Clarion Test Chambers, this is a really volatile map here. We do see Hot Shot coming out once again, so we're going to see a Juno ban from Force of Will.
Yeah, and not only that, we see an Estelle ban as well, which is honestly not that bad of a pick considering the fact that we have hotshot aerials because like I think Larry and Laura's Estelle is definitely quite strong and I don't think we've seen it yet this series or even like the series
Yeah.
prior. It's definitely a very like comfortable pick and with two bists like that, I think it's completely understandable to take it away. And on the first pick, we actually have Bagidos on the Aimi, which is like absolutely comfort pick for them. And we actually see Kuriyama back on the Jakar, making it 3 games in a row where we got that Jakar pick.
Yeah, it's actually insane how often Kuriyami was allowed to get that Trickar. I mean, Kuriyami has been wreaking havoc with this Trickar. But once again, we see Slime Slinger faced with a rough matchup. Asher and Tamako, Otaku is going to take that all day, every day. And we'll see because last time the defense had a bad goalie matchup, they did lose. Like Creature did lose, so we'll have to see how it works out this time.
Yeah, and actually, Slime Singer of the Mako goalie, which I don't think I've actually seen him play yet. So that's gonna be very
Yeah,
interesting to see.
yo, I missed
And
the Atlas.
yeah, also fun fact about Slime Slinger as well. Oh yeah, there is no Atlas, but fun fact about Slime Slinger, I'm pretty sure when he first I've first known about him, he was actually a Kai goalie one trick.
Oh,
So it kind of makes sense why
well,
he plays
good.
like yeah, it kind of makes sense why his like Luna is like very solid because it's once again like a very aggressive character. It's kind of like back to his roots, but nowadays he's kind of just a really solid melee goalie as well. So he's generally pretty flexible on these picks here, as we saw him have a lot of success on the Luna, and he also had a lot of success on the Dubu as well, like a very aggressive Power Pauldrons Dubu. But now we're gonna see him on the Maka with probably aerials to boost up the speed of his teammates here.
Yeah, I want to see how the midfield looks like here because it looks like La Creatura aimed, again, aimed for the midfield. They want to pinion Larry here into something she's less comfortable on because I know Aimi Estelle is her main two comfort pick. Dakitos also likes Aimi Estelle, so they took advantage of that blue team side and uh, got what they wanted here. We'll see how it pans out though, because I do know Larry does practice Kai quite a bit, and we'll see how it goes. On the other side, I also don't know how the Dubu Drakar matchup works. I wonder if it works a little bit better than the Drakar Rasmus, because it seemed Drakar looked really strong against Rasmus from what I've seen today, at least.
Absolutely. I think Debu is a much better pick in Jakar because he is like an actual melee goalie. And not only that, both his abilities, Counter Strike Primary. Like you can strike log, and that's better than like Jakar Strike Primary on defense. And not only that, Summer Soul just completely shuts it down. Like I think you have to well, not entirely since like the stun. You still have to like win the strike board, but it can definitely shut it down after the fact.
Ooh. I mean, that was a really good sequence from Striker Kuriyami, immediately taking barrier 1. Slime Slinger very patient, so good. I mean, it feels like Slime Slinger really upgraded themselves from week 1 of Osas here, honestly. Like, just 1 week changed a lot of things. And a great pass from Dakitos onwards to Striker Kuriyami. Great pass, but Real Otaku and Larry's answering back, but Otaku does miss that barrier, but Dakitos lets the core slip through, and that could mean both barriers. No, not if they do get that clear. So great clear from Wolfdrifter as well. Into the barrage though, Dakitos great rotation through, and now they're really waiting for a level 2 power spike coming out. Mako has it, everyone but Amy, I think. Jaime has it right now, and a great core flip around the pathway, but Dakitos not quite on point. And Otaku has a core flip, and they're gonna make it happen. Dakitos dashes away, and there we go. 1-0 Force of Will.
Striker looked really solid at that point with one of the craziest Pap Splitter interactions I may have ever seen in my life. Slimeslinger clearing that really well, but just to have it bounce back to the Pap Splitter and like hit it just a little bit of a corner, just to like whip the strike around it. But like Larry and Lars, once again, I think they play this game 1, now we're playing it again in game 2. They're playing Astra Kai, which is probably something I probably lapped out quite a bit, and is honestly a really good stuffing comp as well. So if they manage to get it on their side of the field, they might be able to suffer through this Atlas pretty consistently. Or, well, not the Atlas, but the Mako here. Giant Mako too, by the way. Managed to steal the orb away from Force of Will.
Yeah, I mean, this is a variant where that orb is going to be all important, give you so much power, so much strike range. And Striker Kuriyami trying to fight against Larry. Oh, that Giga kind of delivered it. Wins against the log too. Hello, Striker Kuriyami. This Ricard is crazy. But Larry coming down. Striker Kuriyami using the Xeno to run away. Larry, great core flip, getting both barriers, just equalizing the count just like that. And now Asher on top of Mako. Core slips through somehow, but the barrage holds it in. Slimeslinger, unfortunately, wasn't able to find that perfect up clear. And now 2-0 Force of Will, and I think this is like the first time Force of Will has led 2-0. Like in the first set, yeah.
I do agree with that, yeah. And like right now, I don't think Slimeslinger's Mako is looking as solid as his other picks. His debut was looking really strong, and so was his Luna, but I don't think that the Mako is having as much relevance right now in the first set, but that again is still the first set, and like they clearly haven't played this character in a hot second, so they might still just be warming up, and you might be seeing more success in the future. But once again, I feel like Mako is not great into Asher either, because a lot of their hitboxes kind of just get stuffed up by Cavalry alone, so you're gonna have to be able to play this character really well against Asher, like for all their matchup here.
Yeah, another thing is Dakitos has also been looking a little shaky on the midfield. They do need to recover though with the glitch pop off of that, forcing out the core flip from Wolfdrifter, and a nice cyber swipe there from Dakitos, and a turret coming down. Dakitos can die happy now right now because Striker Kuriyami is going to seal the deal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, all you really needed was like just put turret to set up the offense for Kuriyami, and that's kind of a new midfielder once you're staggered, because you kind of just have to fall back. But Kuriyami once again converting that really well, and not really playing for damage as hard as they have in the first sets here. They definitely have a more core control oriented team here, as Mako isn't playing, or like Slimeslinger is on the Mako instead of like something aggressive like the Power Pog and Zulu, or like crazy Luna. But it's a lot more stabilized here, and we're going to be able to see if they can adapt to the core control playstyle here.
Yeah, I mean, that was some great core control from Kuriyami there. Oh, almost gets that Atlas variant cheeky goal there, too. Great rotation, though, and trying to get around the Dubu. Wolfdrifter roll does reach. The Somersault does reach. Oh, unfortunately, the variant wasn't quite reset. Slimeslinger looking for it, but isn't going to get it. Turret coming down. Not as a scary turret. Kuriyami trying to make the best of it that he can. But now they're lining up, and that's not a good look here if you're going to, do it. Otaku flips, but Dakitos saves the day somehow, excuse me. And now Kuriyami, he is here with the flip. He can shotgun ult flip Otaku off the core. He's looking for it for Larry. Larry respects it, so just opts to reset back to Wolfdrifter, who rotates it towards topside. But I don't know, Slimeslinger taking some bad positionings here. He's gonna pay for it with his life the second time. And now the cyber swipe coming down, but Kuriyami's low. And now this time Kuriyami can't hunt. He is becoming the hunted. He's gonna get barrier beam. Slimeslinger does come back though. I mean, these death timers seem awfully small, and Wolfdrifter gets hit by the cage. Hello. Dakitos is gonna link it to Kuriyami. This looks like a second point potentially. Oh, hits the right click, but gets somersaulted and takes the left click. Atlas variant coming out, closing the clear gates. Xenocloak coming out. Slimeslinger missing the strike shot, but Otaku, the barrier beam angled slightly off. Otaku almost has a core flip though. Might need to use it defensively. Immediately burns it to get it through. Wolfdrifter has a core flip though, has to use it as well. Slimeslinger is going to get there. Doesn't miss a strike shot this time, but the pass splitter. Oh, we're going to see a Mako death again? Nope, not today. But we do see the Tofu Fortress coming out. Oh, slightly off, but does lose a strike war. Wants to kill the Dubu, unable to, but still the core goes through. How is this happening, La Creatura?
Despite the fact that Mako was getting spawn killed for the first half of that game, they still managed to be able to set it to like 0.5, and although they are really like suffering against the damage here, it doesn't seem to matter, as they seem to have experience against dealing with power plays, despite the fact that they like to dish them out a lot. It seems like they are pretty well adapted to being able to handle them themselves as well, because they managed to set this 0.5 to spiking, like, with a lot of damage here. And Kuriyama managed to, like, get it in, and now they win the first set.
Goodness. They came from an 0-2 deficit. Yeah, they turned it around, and oh gosh, and Dogitos is gonna get some awakenings here.
Yeah, not only that, Dogitos looks like, honestly, this is not a too crazy good draft. There's no like crazy diss here. I'm not. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not too surprised if Primetime gets picked up here, because if there's one thing that you definitely don't want, it's Kai or Ash to have Primetime, because those are both really strong stuffing abilities, and like that seems like it's kind of their win condition here.
Oh man, are we gonna see Omega Dubu? Are we gonna see Omega accelerated Dubu?
Oh.
Yeah.
Once again, Voltrictor is opting for a speed here. Like, he took the Malt Boots both on Atlas, which is also, like, kind of unorthodox. But, like, Ice Skate's Dubu is also, like, you know, not, like, pretty common. In fact, especially, like, it used to be really common, actually, but, like, there are definitely still some
Atlas does it, it's ew. Why is he speedy? If Dubu does it, it's like, oh, little hamster on skates, how cute. Alright, I see you breaks it. Hey, I see you. But Otaku is going to be so scary coming up, but they get an out clear! Yo, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah, yeah, the thing with Monboo's Atlas is, unfortunately, like, it does neuter his, like, primary a lot, because, like, his range got nerfed on it. There used to be a time where, like, Monu, like, on Atlas was, like, pretty common, but because of that range nerf on the primary, it kind of got a lot less common. But on the flip side here, I really like the pickup on Demolitionist with Asher, because that's really strong.
Yeah, Demolitionist on Asher is going to start dwarfing the Mako in size, but they have to deal with this crazy offense like Kuchura has going on. Animalistic instincts. Turret coming down has to be answered by the two Fortress, and oh my gosh, Dogito still manages to find an angle, and Kuriyami gets it in.
Striker Kuriyami, once again, proving his, like, efficiency on the Jakar here, as they are really looking like they are set to win this series. They want to make it to Winners Final right now, and they're definitely looking like they are the team that's going to make it right now.
Oh my gosh, one glitch pot could have changed the course of Real Taku's life, but he is going to escape with it intact right now because they do miss the glitch pot. But still, oh my goodness, just Strike War after Strike War won by Striker Kuriyami, and they have a core flip. Otaku has to burn their core flip, but now this leaves them exposed. Kuriyami has a core flip. They might try to force out Moldrifters first, and now his power play here. Unfortunately, a little bit of lazy clear from Slimeslinger means that Larry gets tap on the goal, but expertly done. Moldrifter, great control right now, but core flip is there. You have to remember this. And oh my goodness, if you're Larry, you're terrified at what just happened. Force of will. They need to really like channel their deepest resilience here.
Force of will looking a lot weaker than they did in the first set here. It was looking really competitive with all the power plays that they managed to get, but now it's looking like a completely different story, as I think this pickup on OAA kind of changed things up, because like Moldrifter, like, not with as much HP, although he can go fast, but they can't keep it on their side of the field. It's gonna be really scary, but right now it's looking like they're pretty effective on their side of the field, and hopefully we can walk up and get value out of that OAA right now.
Oh, huge Giga from Larry gets the second barrier, and then another huge flip. Midfielders get it done. Great try to clear on the Slimeslinger. I think he was a little too far in to get the vertical clear though, and Force of Will, this is just what they needed. This is just what they needed.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, but it is honestly fine for like Slimeslinger to make some mistakes right now, as both Dogitos and Kuriyama are kind of putting on a show, as they are kind of focusing Moldrifter right now. And once again, that OAA is kind of shooting with the foot because it gives them so much less HP to like play with here, and it makes it a lot easier for both the forward duos to just kind of chip away at your HP, and it looks like you're still doing that as we're going into 30-second mark.
Yeah, Moldrifter back up though, and now, oh my gosh, such defense coming out from Dogitos and Slimeslinger, winning against an Asher with a barrier beam. Oh, but another Giga, great Giga from Larry, but they can't keep looking for cross clears, but Slimeslinger misses the primary, and that's good. Force of Will coming back into a fightable position. Going into third set, 1-1 versus 0-2 is going to be very different here if you're Force of Will.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of a 180 story, which has kind of happened a lot in this series, to be honest with you. But like Otaku also doing really good in this back though, and like once they got
so
the field,
Larry's so low. What are you gonna do? But oh, they get around the Michael. They get around the Michael twice. Oh, the Giga's not quite there in time. I think it was on cooldown. Kuriyami is there with the Xeno, and it's gonna look really scary. Waits out the log, passing back, unable to react in time. Strike Slimeslinger finds the outclear once again. Larry isn't dead though, and that's good. And Kuriyami's about to hunt. They missed the shotgun. And cage hold strong, but still, the core's kind of reset back in neutral. Moldrifter wins the strike. Wins the strike or strike second. And now you have to get the core flip if you're real Otaku. And Slime Slayer, oh, the variant! Oh, but it gets caught on the map. Doggitos is there waiting. Nice, cool, nice cyber swipe. And Kuriyami was waiting. Larry's pointing up. Clear up, goalie. But unfortunately, clear straight into Doggitos and Kuriyami.
That last one was genuinely just a roller coaster of emotions there, but it does seem like LAC does win the second set there, even though it was looking pretty convincing that Force of Will was going to win that set. They were able to compose themselves and win the first set now. I'm wondering, I mean, might opt to take the Super Surge away from the Kai here. Actually, Kai was just looking for Bulk Up instead. I feel like
you need to live if you're Larry here. Like,
yeah, that is true, but there's really no survival awakenings here, unfortunately. Like, I think the only thing that you can really take that might help you is Glass Cannon because it gives you some move speed, and maybe Berserker, but like Berserker really doesn't do anything. It's kind of like something you pick up the last of a draft when like everything else negatively affects you, unfortunately. But those actually opt to go for damage instead, which I think is also completely understandable because like the best option to deal against damage comp is deal damage yourselves, and the fact that like if they scale for damage, they could definitely turn that around here.
Yeah, I mean, 600 speed Dubu is kind of scary. He's skating around. Moldrifter is on the back, but still loses the barrier. Hello! And, oh, Real Otaku's so low. He's going to be so slow on that Obscura Void puddle. And a great Cyber Strike redirect into the Glitch Pot almost takes Moldrifter off the field if it wasn't for the goal arc. And Kuriyami's just going to strike shot, a strike and the shotgun, and Otaku just kept on the back foot all this set. Doesn't find a cheeky kill like he did last time either. That might be what they need here. Slime Slayer not afraid to just use their skills, and on the back foot we see double barriers being gone. Moldrifter almost losing control, and the shotgun coming out, almost taking Moldrifter off the field. Larry misses the Giga, but gets the out clear. They find it. Slime Slayer had the core flip though. Buys one turn. Path Splitter coming out, but it's not going to happen much. Giga coming out. Turret coming down. Otaku's trying to tank it, but every blow is lethal to this staggered Asher. Great barrage, and Otaku base tanks the Molten Blast. Every single one of Forcible doing their best to keep themselves in the game, but that's exactly what's happening just in the game. Moldrifter trying to buy time, with Doggitos and Kuriyami buying time for themselves too with the core flip. Moldrifter answers back, but Kuriyami reads Moldrifter like an open book, wins the strike. I mean, they're here to win it.
Absolutely, like offensive like side is looking so strong on Obscura right now. But also, I like to know like there has been a complete like playstyle change on behalf of Slime Slayer right now. That entire point, he was just using all his cooldowns on Real Otaku to make sure that he stays low and staggered out of the play, which also isn't a terrible idea, as like we're seeing right now, Otaku gets so much value when he does have presence.
There we go. Yeah, that's some value finally that we saw from Real Otaku, and that's the Asher Mako matchup that we've been talking about. We finally see why it's bad, but I gotta say, this is the backline from Force of Will. They can't seem to compete right now with the Drakkar Aimi. Oh, that's gonna be an unfortunate barrier take here on this variant. And now, oh, Larry is there to cover the out clear, and we can see Force of Will, why they made this composition. It's so nice when it works, and look at that, Real Otaku is just gonna dash into face. I mean, makes you wonder, why wasn't this happening earlier? What's going on?
I'm not really sure either, but it's looking like this comp has seemed to waken up because Otaku did in fact get Rampage, and he also has Demolitionist. So there is so much size on the side of Otaku alone right now, and if he's able to walk up and like just fight the Mako, it can honestly look really bad on behalf of Obscura.
Yeah, that was oh, gets it through the log too. Just members of Obscura just throwing themselves in Moldrifter's clear areas, just making it so hard, and loses the barrier, might lose a second one. This is a really volatile. Oh, if the shotgun just answers. The shotgun made everyone equal, and Kuriyami's holding it right now.
We have once again looking really solid, punishing Moldrifter's bad positioning there, which is also like a very good strategy. Like, if he can punish mistakes, that's really strong, right? But like Moldrifter shouldn't be making too many positioning mistakes because considering the fact that he has so much movement speed, right? He really shouldn't be like making errors like that because he has so much speed to be able to like account for those errors. And like once again, he can walk up a lot too. And honestly, I feel like if he walks up a lot more, this is like when the comp can really wake up, in my opinion.
Yeah, this comp has waked up. They did get both barriers. Moldrift misses the strike. Wary of the cyber swipe though. I think that was good actually. And now Dogito's tightening up the variant. Kuriyami trying to buy time for the turret, but Otaku's gonna find the kill instead. Slime Singer using the strike shot preemptively and that's a clear, but into two forwards. I don't think. Yeah, that was unfortunate, but luckily Shura is getting caught up. Force of Will is back.
That is all good as Otaku is looking alive and well right now as they take the MVP and was also kind of the start of that set, like ending it on 7 Rampage stacks, clearly showing that they had a lot of presence in that series. And now it's kind of, I'm not really sure what Asher takes here. There is a lot of like decently good stuff. Extra special is very understandable, but once again, we have that missile prop threat in the draft from the Drakkar, and he is able to get it. And considering the fact that they're up 2-1 right now, that could be really scary. And on top of that, I mean, also gets heavy impact. That's a lot of damage going on the side of Black Creature right now. And also, on top of everything, which is the cherry on top, Slime Singer gets explosive entrance, which gives the Ever Seen so much speed, considering the fact that he has aerials and super surge on top of that.
Yeah, this is kind of like, it's kind of, oh my goodness, a kill onto Asher, and Larry brought down so low. You can see the orb just bringing in a lot of value though. Kuriyami walking backwards. Slime Singer is able to get that with the power passive from the Mako, but Larry holding strong into midfield. This Madman now, you found strength with the Reptile Remedy, and Dakitos has to get out of there. Slime Slinger kind of left to rot, but the Cyber Swipe is good. Needs to connect with the primary. Slime Slinger does get it, does try to clear it out, but Real Taku is still there, is getting knocked down low on the Obscura variant though. Striker Kuriyami, there we go, lines it up. And now Otaku is being brought down low. They do get the kill. They have a power play, but they need to make a lot happen right now during these next 8-7 seconds. And Glitch Pop was a start. Unfortunately, wasn't quick enough. Barrage coming down. Dagito's not quite synced up. Slime Slinger does get that strike shot. Has a core flip, but the Tofu Fortress comes out. And Larry also has a core flip here. So they power play is negated. And they also lose. But Real Otaku gets a 1v1 against the Asher, against the Mako, into Asher with the barrier beam. Now, there we go. I mean, Real Otaku can make it happen 1v1 all day. Asher versus Mako.
That pass floater was exactly what you need when you're Asher in that situation, because once you shove it in the corner and just have it pinched in the corner like that, there's really only so much Mako can do, because no matter how many abilities you press, you're not getting that like core through that pass floater, and you can't out clear either because it's like inside there. But once again, this Otaku Asher pick is showing so much value right now.
Yeah, Otaku being beat up, he's going to get taken off. He does take the orb, though, while he's getting knocked out. Nice Cyber Swipe coming in. Wants to rotate Slime Slinger, but Larry does read that. I mean, perfect. Giga gets the second, but oh my goodness, Kuriyami was waiting for that redirect from Moldrifter. And now, like we sure are back, stopping the momentum of Force of Will.
That was a really flashy play on behalf of Force of Will's like forwards there. That looked really cool, I can't lie. I love it when people use the little big circle on like the Atlas map like that, because like there's so many cool angles they can go for, and they definitely went for a cool angle there. Like Larry and Laura, Dagitos and Striker Kuriyami kind of showing their efficiency on this Clearing Test Chamber map right now.
Yeah, this is one of the better maps for Force of Will, though, because it's so hard to get a little out clear, and the turret's doing a lot of work. Larry's tanking it for dear life, but they weren't able to find the clear, and now Striker Kuriyami is there. The core flip comes out, unfortunately misses, but Kuriyami has a shotgun, and it's going to be so scary. Oh, not if Otaku saves the day with the core flip dash into everything, into the kitchen sink. Oh, Giga is waited out from Dakitos, and a core flip used from Slime Slinger, but Moldrifter is waiting. I think he should have a Tofu Fortress coming up soon as well. Cyber Swipe coming out. Kuriyami comes out as well, and a great down clear. Unfortunately, slightly misses the angle with the barrier beam. Unfortunately, loses against Mako as well. Oh, slightly off patience, and now Barrage coming out, but Larry is so big, so fast.
There's only so much they can do in that scenario when Kai just has so much movement speed and is like twice the size of you or something. Like that was honestly kind of a really well played on behalf of Larry and Lahorus to get that big orb there. But also, like, it's up 2-1, and they're looking like they might bring this to set 5.
Yeah, I mean, this is they've been really evenly matched so far, and I wouldn't doubt if there was a set 5. Dagitos takes advantage. Will have to watch out though. That beep can be lethal. Rotating up is Dagitos. Has to watch out once again. The Giga doesn't kill, and Shotgun gets it down low. Dagitos has a core flip now, but the Mako Cage 1v1 situation with Asher. Kai doesn't die. Kai doesn't die, and Glitch Pop also misses. This does mean that Kuriyami has to win against the log, does lose, and now there's a core flip. Slime Slinger too late on the reaction. Barrier Beam does survive. The barrage comes out. The corner clear is missed, and Real Taku can stay there all day. Slime Slinger has to let go. Dagitos dies, and now a power play from Force of Will. This can take them to set 5, and in it goes.
Force of Will is looking really strong, being able to convert off of these power plays pretty consistently, honestly. I think that's the keystone to why they've been winning these past 2 sets, and now with Larry and Lars the MVP here. And honestly, I know I'm not the goalie, but I might take team player away from Mako here.
They have peak though. They have peak and cast. Oh, even taking twin drive. Okay, I see. But this does mean team player goes to Mako.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that twin drive might have been a deny for the Mako as well, kind of proving that Mako could not have been denied that drive because they have 3 Dash Awakenings. I think it's completely fair to like take that away, even if Mako wasn't looking for that. If they went for a twin drive there, that would have been disgusting. That might have been like one of the most disgusting like Kid Mako build I've ever seen in my life. But still, team player is still like a huge contribution to the Mako build here. And like unfortunately, I don't think that. Well, honestly, I think both peak performance and twin drive give them a lot of move speed, and if you're able to get in position here and be able to like get value out of that move speed, they can make the set 5 theirs.
Yeah, Kuriyami has to lock in. He has to make sure, does he want to chase the core, does he want to kill? He tries to do both. He can't do both right now. He has 1-2. He's a 1-2 Dracar. It's looking really scary, but Real Taku has so much speed right now thanks to being an Asher and having peak. And now 1v1 against the Asher. Oh, Kuriyami's getting bounced around. Bouncy House saves him though, and now wins against the Barrage. This Dagitos, saves it again. They're on point now. Dagitos is winning all the strike wars, but Otaku is there answering back. Slime Slinger finally gets a core flip, but the damage is done. The barrier is down. Nice cyber swipe from Dagitos. Unfortunately clashed with Kuriyami's positioning. Kuriyami was already there and now has to answer the pass splitter to Slime Slinger. An unfortunate variant means that they have to deal with another strike war situation. Dagitos does win that, and Moldrifter out of position, rolls but too slow. That one turret bite that he took for fun really hamstrung him.
Yeah, that's really important. You definitely can't be taking that for fun when you have Long Boots and Glass King as your cornerstone for movement speed here. You're seeing that get punished immediately. And right now, I really think that Otaku and like Larry and Loris and Moldrifter, if they want to win this series, they have to keep it on their side of the field because like Mako is not really bad defensive, like much of a defensive powerhouse right now. They have a really good build for supporting their teammates, and they need to take like do their best to be able to take advantage of the fact that like this build is for their teammates and not themselves. So if they're able to keep that on their side of the field and be able to like keep this like Mako dealing with this bad matchup, they can still take the series even though they are down a point.
Yeah, Striker Kuriyami's doing that thing where he can do everything, so he wants to do everything, and it's making him do nothing. It's really rough right now. He's chasing the Kai, he's chasing the Core, he's chasing the Asher, and now he has to chase the Orb. And things are looking a little rough here, actually, for like Futura in terms of the situation, but they do reset to neutral, and Slime Slinger does get that core flip, and Larry is gonna rotate it down, and the barrage just works. Otaku brought down low once again, but this time they work, and Moldrifter caught off in position once again, and Cyber Swipe coming out, but Moldrifter has flipped now, but they do get the kill on Real Otaku, so this is a power play for like Futura. Barrage bringing down low, and Slime Slinger walks up too far, and there we go, 1-1. Both goalies make mistakes, and Force of Will comes out ahead.
That is unfortunate. And Slime Slinger does have a habit that's like, honestly, in general, just walking up very aggressively, and you can see that gets punished when you don't win the strike board and you don't have any cooldowns. And like, when you're not a dude who can like somersault backwards, or more importantly, a Luna that can dash backwards and catch it afterwards, a mistake like that, it's kind of hard for Mako to kind of like come back from deficit like that after you walk up too far.
Yeah, this is Force of Will's variant. This is a huge Asher, like it's hard to cross clear. Like you can see it right now, it's so hard until you get this IME turret going, like it's gonna be really hard. They do down clear, Moldrifter is there waiting. They have a Tofu Fortress, I'm pretty sure, so Dagitos does delay with the glitch pop until they can get a vertical. And they keep pressuring, they pressure it through Larry countless times. This is really good. And Log comes out, but there is a core flip. Nice aggressive cage from Slime Slinger. They do find an out clear here, but this does mean Asher is there with the core flip, and they're gonna get that. And Force Will, they're looking to go back to grand finals.
Absolutely, and that variation right there was definitely their variation to win, as like you said, that orb gives Asher so much size, and it's just like, it can be really scary. Since like they want to stop the core, and if Asher's primary is the size of the moon, they can absolutely do that.
Yeah, it looks like we might be going to a game 5 though. Not game 5, sorry, match point 5 though. because Kuriyami just and Dogito's just I don't know what's the word they mogged Force of Will's backline there.
It's okay, you'll get it one day. But we are at 0.5, set by 0.5 right now. Game 3, and this is like tournament on the line right now for both teams.
No!
And unfortunately, relative to Tofu Fortress, not enough. Like, they lose both their barriers here, and they really want to keep this off their side if they want to win this set.
Hurt comes out, Otaku does get the kill, is brought down low, though Dogito cyber swipes wrong, Slime Slinger has the core flip, gets it through somehow through Larry and Otaku, but this narrow straight is not where you want to be fighting. You just want to get it out even if you lose a barrier, it's fine. The password coming out, and they're coming out, but the clear is there. Otaku Dogito finds an angle, but still 1v1 against Asher, into the Mako, not get the clear, and there we go, Force of Will. A really tough victory off of a disastrous 0.5 start. That was a great recovery.
Wow, I think we just witnessed Grand Finals, and like we're not even Grand Finals right now. Both of these teams were playing for their lives right now. Like that was honestly such a good game. Played by everybody. I would not be mad to anybody who lost this. Both brawlers actually having 10 goals each, which is honestly kind of insane how much goals that they've been getting. Yeah, brawlers have in fact been getting it done this series. Both Kuriyami and Otaku doing a great job. And also like everybody who played this did honestly amazing. Like Dogito's with these redirects is pretty crazy, but Lightning and Lars was also keeping up. Both brawlers actually have way less redirects compared to the midfielder, and I think that's just kind of their playstyle. Both teams kind of just had their brawler sit on the goalie and just kind of like let them convert, and they definitely did a good job at doing that, as it definitely shows with Larry and Lars having 8 assists and Dogito's having 9 assists, like almost contributing to every single point in the series, which is honestly very impressive as a midfielder, which is once again like Jaime is so good at doing that, which is turret and like damage. It really enables the brawler, and I think they definitely did a good job at doing that. And once again, like Slime Slinger's build was crazy as well, and that was able to enable their offense really strong, but it wasn't enough. Otaku and Lars just like stuffed it through the Mako despite that fact, and they were just really able to take advantage of the fact that Maku can't put it past the Asher. We saw so many times that pass loader just like perfectly aligned to keep the court in the corner, and they just couldn't do anything about it. Like they dumped their whole kit trying to defend it, but you just can't defend against a well-placed pass floater because that's just how Asher works.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're Force of Will, right? If you're Force of Will and you're when things are looking bleak, you know, you gotta chant the mantra because we just gotta get to our brawler, and the brawler gets it done. And it's true, if you're Mako into Asher, it does mean you're in for a pretty bad ride. And I mean, props to Lucky Churro for making it so close. But I think you can see if like from the stat line, you know, Kuriyami took 1-2 at the end there, clearly looking for kills, was unable to get the kill. He only ended the game with 1 KO. So you can see Force of Will really tried to adjust, really got the better end of the deal as well. And they're gonna go forward into Grand Finals. They're gonna try to take their 3rd revenge match against the reigning seed 1 here, Chikara Patters. So we'll be back for that, but it won't be us. It'll be 2 other casters. But it's been fun. It was Brexin and it was Pato. So thanks, guys.
Okay, we're back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grand Finals of the Omega Strikers Amateur Series Season 14. I'm here with Flop. It's been a while.
It has. It's been a couple seasons. I took a little bit of a casting break, a little bit of break in general, but I'm back and I'm ready.
Yeah, and we're here in the Grand Finals. It's Force of Will versus Chikara Patters. Chikara Patters, of course, looking extremely dominant throughout this entire thing. Very confident as well, right? Like, they have had, I think, the best 3 individual players along with the best team. So this is an Osas season where it's their time and it's up to Force of Will to show that they have the will to change that.
I agree. I have been watching. I went ahead and watched the previous games. Force of Will has the drive. They've got what they need to do it, but I think they're going to have to really lock in. They've really got to clean up. There's been a couple sloppy things, and I think if you try that into the Chikara Patters team, they're not going to let it happen. They're all very solid. But I believe in Force of Will. I do. I think they can do it.
All right. Well, they're going to have to do it here. Otherwise, they will end their Osas career with a second place instead of a first. We'll see. But as we kick off, it's a Super Surge Glass Cannon start. Plenty of Glass Cannon to go around on Clarion Test Chamber.
Absolutely. Something to note, we do have this Pummeler Glass Cannon Julie. So that's a little threatening if she's left unchecked and able to stack this up. Dash Punch is going to be a little scary, but that is a lot less core control for a map that is pretty open on some variants. Some of the variants it's closed, but I think it's really going to be whether or not Ball Drifter and Leary, is it Leary? Can get this ball up to Otaku, set this ball up for him to get the dash punches that he needs. And if that happens, you're looking comfortable. That's a very good good win condition. It's just you look for your Julie dash punch, and a dash punch on the Dubu is actually going to be the first one found, and it's going to lead to a goal for Chikara Patters.
We'll see. CHK Ghost, though, I think the most notable player, the most flashy player on the team, right? Of course, Starfish and Yabagap performing incredibly well, but the one who is doing the brawling is CHK Ghost. The one who is finding the angles to score is often this brawler. And on Asher, of all picks, doesn't even need to find the angles, can just brute force it right through. Brute force a KO on the bottom side. No energy, but who cares? It was worth it. And, well, it's up to Lyrie to find something here, but even with the flip, this Atlas from Starfish will hold strong.
Absolutely, and the core flip is not going to end up finding that barrier. The Otaku's trying to find his way out, just get this forward, but this Asher's in the corner, and something to note is Baldrifter's doing a really good job of punishing this Chikara Asher. This is a very short-range comp, especially with the Atlas in the backline rounding it up. You have a lot of shoving potential, but if you just rotate this ball like Muldrifter's been doing every time the ball comes to you, what do these characters do to stop you?
Yeah, you really have to wonder. Of course, there's an empty net at the back of Starfish, but another KO vacuumed right up. The dash into primary. CHK Ghost looking as flashy as ever here. You got to watch out in the open net, though, and Starfish waits. Doesn't get caught by the Crystal Thorns. Yabba Gabba CHK Ghost looking for a passing play. They're relatively low range, and that does come back to bite them here as the passing play is interrupted by the Estelle. The Pat Splitter not quite yet. Ryu Otaku in position looking for a dash punch, and well defended by Starfish. The strike timings looking so good here, but right through Ryu Otaku. Strike works the primary to the bottom corner.
That's brutal, and that happens sometimes, but you're still very comfortable here. You have your Chikara with flip, your Asher will be getting their flip soon, and Muldrifter does have his, but flip's actually extended pretty far back, not going to lead to much. So they will get the barrier off of it, that's good. There's some good damage on the Asher here, for the Julie, sorry. Double barrier for the side of Force of Will.
Yeah, that's big here. If they can convert that into another goal like the previous point, they're going to have a good early lead to work off of CHK Ghost, though, building up a lot of meter. Ryu Otaku in position, and a snipe by Lyrie, perfectly covering the out clear by Starfish. This team's looking coordinated. They're looking warmed up. They had a banger 3-game series before, while Chikara Patters had to wait on winner's side, and that kind of momentum is kind of real.
Absolutely, and I think something to note that may be making the real difference is this Super Surge pick on the Estelle. Super Surge is a very strong awakening on its own, and that Asher is dead. Power play, the flip used to just speed it up. Good, but as I was saying, the Super Surge gives this Estelle a lot of coverage, which is really not what you want to be dealing with as this triple melee comp that the Chikara Patters has drafted up. The Estelle team will find that second barrier, and it is open net for Starfish. If he can hold it here, it's possible, but it's a little scary.
CHK Ghost solo holding possession, taking a lot of damage. And Lyrie and Muldrifter looking healthy as Starfish looks for the defense on the open net. But we've seen this situation before. It's looked dangerous. It's looked difficult for the Atlas here with so much ground to cover. Ryu Otaku being chipped away at, but the Brawlers are on the other side of the map. The focus is not there. The flip is available. This is the opportunity for Force of Will if they can get it out of their own side, as Ryu Otaku has all the tools necessary. Dash punch found, but just a strike war by CHK Ghost, forcing out the flip here, the resources, but the snipe to close it out, and that's the first set going on over to Force of Will.
Yes, honestly, a pretty scary set. These are characters that can really get out of hand. This Julie can get a little dangerous if she has something. It's going to be the Estelle, who probably just going to pick up the stack on stacks, if I had to guess. A bit more midfield coverage is always good. I don't really see, maybe a Happy Star. But no, it's going to be stacks on stack. This Dubu might actually get the extra special. That could be really good as well. Oh, I mean, this draft is looking incredible for Force of Will.
Yeah, that is scary. The defensive capability shored up quite a bit, the damage as well, and on the other side, nothing even comparable from the side of Chikara Patters. The Chikara Patters, though, they do have a game plan to play off of, right? They picked up specifically damage, and a lot of damage. So if they could find these KOs, they could find a knockback at the right times, they can start snowballing these sets, but the overall defensive capabilities, the same as ever. And if Force of Will can win this in 3, they're in a good spot.
I agree, and the ball is going to go around. Chikara Patterns is looking for some kind of offense here, but it's just incredibly difficult to set it up. You either take it to this side street and you get Dubu walled, or you take it bottom, and well, I mean, bottom's not much better for you either. You want the closed interactions. A lot of the damage is kind of being not really focused. I'm going to be honest. A lot of it on Otaku right now. If they can confirm this, get this Asher prize fighter scaling, that would be really good for them, but you're gonna have to really commit. We're not seeing a lot of it.
We'll see if they can do so here. CHK Ghost looking for an opportunity with a path splitter, but it does seem like just maybe Chikara Patters bit off a little bit more than they could chew, picking this low range, low core control comp with Atlas into Estelle Julie. They're lacking the control more often than not, and Leary is doing a very good job of just completely blocking out the midfield, blocking out the passing lanes, making it dangerous. And Muldrifter sending it through the lane once more. It's drifting away, though. You got to be careful. A core flip available for CHK Ghost. This could turn the tide in an instant, but chooses not to use it just yet. The dribbles in the midfield. Leary back and forth. The Monumentalist expands. We'll send it away for now, but CHK Ghost got to make a move. And finds the KO, but Ryo Otaku finds the goal, and that's what we're talking about here. They're not pulling the trigger. They're not getting the goals.
That is true, but it is only 1 point in this set. That is a 2 prize fighter Asher. There's scaling potential there. Even if you drop a point, well, let's not drop 2, but even if you drop a point and you start getting this prize fighter snowballing, you get that 1 stack, then you get that 2nd stack, you become a real menace, and ooh, almost got one there. Flip's going to end up going wide. Unfortunate double barrier are gone for the side of Chikara Patters. They're going to manage to dig it out here. Muldrifter's kind of just going to hold this ball, as you should do. Oh, that's a kill for Otaku, and that's all the prize fighter stacks gone.
Yep, Ryo Otaku looking for an opportunity now. Another goal, just like the last. Leary unable to cover this time. The timing slightly off, but it's okay. Nothing to be sorry about. Good job so far here. CHK Ghost now back on the respawn. Yabba Gabba looking for an opportunity, but the Estelle Drakar's looking a little small. Next to that, Estelle's piercing shot to the top side, forcing out Starfish's movement, forcing out the cooldowns, forcing out everything. The spec training, and Ryo Otaku gets a strike in time, right behind the Expanse, and another lead for Force of Will.
Yes, that's a very, very good offense here. It's on a bouncy house as well. This Atlas doesn't have an Expanse. You can look for an early barrier here. You can look for an early kill if you want, and Otaku's going to find that. And there's the primary Expanse. Should be coming up soon. But still, this is a very, very scary spot for Chikara Patters to really find anything to do. Oh, a good flip from Yabba Gabba is going to save it. But what can you do from here? There comes the secondary, just going to stall this play out. CHK Ghost has managed to find an out. And as long as they hold here, they can get something. Barriers actually be taken. And kind of just resetting back to neutral. Starfish has control of the ball. Not a lot of threat on him.
Leary, flip available. Looking for a way to turn this around. CHK Ghost almost finding a strike ward through it all here. Good flip to get it away from the Drakar. But suddenly the defensive momentum stalls for Force of Will here. Muldrifter walking up. Needs to be careful, though. Has been caught lacking on a few of those sides before, but looking stable now. Grand Finals when it matters most, when the lights are brightest. Muldrifter's looking reliable as ever on the Dubu. The rebound, the flip available. Starfish tries to get it away, and the barrier still defended as HK Ghost building up a flip. But last set, that flip went unused. The goal unscored. Leary finding the barrier, and once again, it's looking like Force of Will has what it takes. The flip now to the top corner, unable to find its mark, right to the wall. Back to Ryo Otaku, who pulls the trigger on the dash a little bit too early. The rebound's coming in. Leary steering the core all the way away. A dangerous bounce right to Ryo Otaku again. The Expanse Monumentalist gets it out of the hands of the Juliet for now as Ryo Otaku looking for an opportunity. The rebound, the catch, the dash, perfect. And 3-0. Force of Will looking like a new team here.
They're really looking locked in, and this is exactly what you need for this team. Like, this is a game that you should decisively have in your pocket, because it honestly is, like, it does feel like a little bit of a draft mistake just drafting all these 3 melees, and your Julie is actually going to end up picking up the bulk up, which makes it very scary. That spec training bulk up glass pummelers, there's some insane knockback kills there. This Estelle's getting peak performance. They're already harder to kill. They're shutting down this Drakkar Asher game plan. And really the only upside you're getting if you're a Chikara Batter player is this team player. But you can't. This will help you, but this is not what your plan was. You really don't want to be losing these health awakenings. And the game just got a lot harder.
Yeah, the damage game slipping away from them here. The prize fighter not looking like he'll be the win condition, and Yabba Gabba looking like they'll be the target instead. CHK Ghost has to be careful, has to play up, but the KO evaded away from the prize fighter stack, denied. The barrier not taken either, and a good shot by Yabba Gabba from the midfield will get one. But the momentum is slowing. The dash punches are coming, and once again, the KO is not in the favor of Chikara Patters here. They're on the winner's side. They have room to play with, but this game slipping away.
Absolutely, and the offense is going to be still here on Chikara Patters. They've managed to break free for a little bit, but this Asher hasn't had the time to get up and keep this ball possession. Yabba Gabba's kind of taking that spot, but you're having to use so many abilities. A good evade is going to keep Yabba Gabba alive in the game. Taku just picked up his flip. We're here. It's a little scary for Patters, but there's not too much threat here in the corner. Oh, that's threatening. I'm lying. Good defense. Starfish still has his flip. Another good evade. Yabba Gabba's doing a great job at just surviving from this Julie combo, but, you know, there's still other very, very scary and more dire threats that need to be dealt with.
Real Taku ascending to another level right now. Starfish sends it away. CHK Ghost in position, but Muldrifter will not fall for those cheap tricks here. Continuing to defend, continuing to look on point, but the core speed out of nowhere. Yabba Gabba sends it through with the 1-2 punch core speed from the Vanish. Not even 1-2, just a Xenocloak. Wow.
I don't really know how it does that. I don't think it's supposed to do that consistently unless it's overtime, but it's very good. And I would like to see I'd like to see this Drakkar use this Orb Dancer a bit more, like really prio it. I think that is a more reliable win con than this kill is going to be. Regardless, Patters is going to lose their first barrier, and they're going to manage to clear it out here. Ghost has his. If he can get one good touch, it is very possible Dubu loses both barriers. Or he can use this to reset his stack, his prizefighter stacks. That's also an acceptable use, but just something needs to be done here to, oh, Starfish. A little unfortunate bounce is going to mean that Chikara Patters is down both barriers on an open net on Bouncy Castle.
Rebound to the bottom. CHK Ghost looking for an opportunity. There to Ryo Otaku. The goal here would be huge, but evaded away from core not even there in the first place. To the top side, Ryo Otaku barely a missed chance here. Starfish, another opportunity at life at this point at the bouncy house, and maybe turning it around onto Muldrifter. Yabba Gabba now trying to help defend, but the Drakkar looking like his arms are a little small. A T-Rex, maybe a little bit of damage, but not the win condition to play for, as Ryo Otaku looks for an opportunity to Flame Flurry, not enough. Lyric to the top side, the Pearson shot right past the Drakkar, and tying it up here in the potential final set of this game.
Yes, and something to note is this Estelle has all 150 pancakes, and without a lot of threat on her to remove those pancakes, that means she is gliding with this Mag Soul peak performance. Like, you are really going to struggle getting this through her. You're going to struggle getting it around her. And so I'm curious at, like, what the game plan is. Like, how do you stop this Estelle from just doing everything? Good Flip's going to save this bottom barrier for Force to Will, and actually end up taking the enemy barrier. This is a really strong spot to be for Force of Will for taking this first game.
Yeah, the rebound from Leary, the Tofu Fortress, almost seals the fate of that goal here. The flip away from Yabba Gabba, but unable to find the barrier. Dubu just too big, too much maneuverability as Ryo Otaku has the flip available. Don't panic on the defense. Chikara Patters, though, in a lot of danger. Ryo Otaku flip available, the resources in your face. And all it takes is one good pass right to Leary right away. CHK Ghost trying to force it through, but Muldrifter has resources to spare right into the face of the Asher without fear because she doesn't have the barrier beam left, and right to the correct side again. A good clear by Muldrifter. Right through to Ryo Otaku, threading the needle. Flip, gotta pull the trigger now. Top side perhaps, but defended away by CHK Ghost. To the bottom, Ryo Otaku looking to stun away. It's not enough. And Muldrifter now in an open net situation, and a perfect shot by Ghost on the Asher, and it's not over just yet. Chikara Patters still in it.
Chikara Patters could find, this is a map variant that should favor them if they can get this orb control right. They have a lot of damage to do so. this map kind of favors by pushing people into the walls. This is a good map for them to claim this set as theirs. They are going to lose their first barrier, but that's okay. Oh, an unfortunate flip's actually going to end up killing the brawler of Chikara Patters, and this is a 3-on-2 power play in the corner. The Dubu wall comes down, and it just keeps it in this corner. This Atlas is running low on resources. They're just going to keep it in the corner, and they've managed to survive, but at the cost of both barriers. And this Julie is looking very threatening again. The Estelle is back. Oh my god.
Larry is everywhere here. Ryo Otaku continuing to put pressure down the path splitter to relieve a little bit. As CHK Ghost sends to the top side, finds one barrier, maybe try to turn it around, but a one strike war by the Estelle. Top side possession kept, offensive possession continuing. As CHK Ghost barely gets it away, the Massive Drakkar now looking to do some damage. A good stun away, the read on the Invisible Lizard. And once again, the defense looking good from Force of Will. Moldrifter late on the trigger, the barrier taken. A little bit of life here as Yabba Gabba sends it through, has the core speed, the rebounds all over CHK Ghost. Can they do it? Can they find an opportunity from mid-range? The middle objective not a factor here. You got to take it a little bit faster than that. CHK Ghost on the bottom end. The Strike Wars not won, but the Strike Wars in the midfield looking a little bit better as Yabba Gabba looks for an opportunity. CHK Ghost looks for a rebound, the flip available, but a bad spot, but a perfect pass right through the hands of everyone to send us to another set here.
Chikara Patters, what a pass. That pass was, I think that's the only way you win that, or you win this set. If it doesn't go in there, it's looking really bad. And because of it, this Drakkar is going to be rewarded with a stinger. If they want to go more damage, you could go, oh, probably, okay, aerial, that makes sense. Get a little bit of extra range to dash speed. But I don't know. The quick strike on this Estelle, the twin drive on Dubu,
Yeah, it's not looking good, especially because Rampage is now on to Ryo Otaku, on to Juliet as well. I guess that trade-off kind of interests me. Why do you think CHK Ghost went build different instead of Rampage and let the Rampage drop down?
Maybe you're thinking you need like the more immediate power, right? Maybe you don't want to go for the Rampage, especially Ghost has died a couple times. It's not impossible. The Julie can kill you, the Estelle can kill you, the Dubu can kill you if you're not careful. That could be it. It could also just be wanting to play for that dash punch a bit more. The impact, the 7% does come into a little bit of effect, but it is a choice, and we'll see if it ends up working out. But I don't know, the Rampage I feel like would have been incredibly strong on this double barrier map. That another good dash punch by Leary is going to keep her alive, and this offense is a little scary, but the Julie is closing in. It doesn't matter, all of Chikara Patters is here to clear it out. Dubu's going to end up picking it up, running it forward. Keep it. There's no real threat here. Oh, well, that's the threat.
An environmental threat even, as Starfish now the one who is in a little bit of danger. CHK Ghost on the bottom side looks for the strikes and finds it against two. The pass splitter set up, the entire bottom side of the map cut off, but Yabba Gabba is there too, which means the offense fades away a little bit here as Starfish wins the strike war to core speed. Spectacular. CHK Ghost gives it a tiny bit of re-angling, the perfect amount to sail into the top side of the goal. And it's looking better and better for the Patters here. They're looking stable.
Yeah, Patters is slowly clawing their way back to life, and it could be a couple things. It could be like a little bit of this team player, a little bit of that size. Even this Drakkar getting some dash speed is going to help him like kind of make up. All of this stuff kind of like helps make up this weakness. On the other hand, this is still a very... You need to stay consistent. Ghost is coming up here with this core flip building soon. Probably 2 more strikes if I had to guess. And then there it is. The core flip is possible. Yabba Gabba's a little low, half HP. That's lethal. Dubu's managed to find this, shut this down. But after this, I mean, you still have to really care. Ghost is a very scary player with this flip right now. Otaku's trying to come back and stop him. But, I mean, Ghost is low. Yeah, there is no Celestial intervention. So you still do need to be careful. But if Ghost doesn't flip this soon, I think he may actually end up dying with it.
Yeah, really, really good intervention by Starfish to keep Yabba Gabba alive, but CHK Ghost, the one now in danger. Ryo Otaku looking for a dash here, top side of the net wide open, but Yabba Gabba well covered, a flip available. Ghost, you gotta pull the trigger. You're on death's door right now. You gotta be careful as the Tofu Fortress walls off the entire half of the map. A defensive flip by Ghost, but the offensive pressure is now letting up here. A great dash through, but unable to find the angle for the barrier now. And Ryo Otaku low as well. The rebound, the pass splitter, the range, everything from CHK Ghost, but unable to find the pressure, and now Starfish in the open net, and so much danger to dash punch. Perfect. And a little bit of a panic clear forward will seal the deal for this point here. It's so incredibly close, and Chikara Patters, they got to be careful. They're on winner's side, but you want to win it on winner's side.
Yeah, you do not want to go to the grand final reset. And, you know, Force of Nature, well, I was going to say they have 2 flips, but this Estelle ended up not really getting much out of that one, but it happens. So that was low-key uncalled for. Regardless, that was uncalled for. A good barrier take by Real Otaku, and it's gonna go around, and this is a little scary. Muldrifter's got his flip if he needs, and just like that, I mean, it's bouncy castle. The offense flips back and forth so much. Yaba's gonna end up flipping this out for defense. It comes right back though, and that's gonna be a barrier for the side of Force of Will.
Real Otaku looking really good on these dashes here to the top side. No Starfish. That strike shot could have been the loss of the goal right there. A little bit of habit coming back to bite you on the horizontal platform. It's the bouncy house. Unfortunate there. Real Otaku with the dash punch in, over focusing on covering the lane, and now CHK Ghost forced to be on defensive duty. A flip from Starfish must be used soon, but the strike war wins are looking good from CHK Ghost. A flip at the perfect moment right through Real Otaku. Well played from Starfish to hold it until the last possible moment. But will this be the moment that the barriers fall? A good shotgun. Yabba Gabba. CHK Ghost. The rebound. Muldrifter in so much trouble. CHK Ghost can't find a strike war here. The bounce. Not quite the Real Otaku. And both teams holding on by a thread. The Cosmic expands just enough right around the flip to the top side it goes, but Muldrifter's there to cover. Yabba Gabba to CHK Ghost. The rebounds, the strikes, not quite enough. The strike for a win from Real Otaku, but no dash punch to follow up. And CHK Ghost going for the strikes, but nowhere. Not there in time to slow down. The Molten Bolt, well played from Yabba Gabba, but CHK Ghost just getting hit stunned away every single time. Well cleared now, but CHK Ghost and Yabba Gabba, they gotta find an angle before this Estelle eats them alive.
It is a very scary, and this offense is coming up on Leary. It goes back, but Leary's going to have this blink up soon, and you have to be careful. If this Estelle gets one good touch to do something, it's going to go around this Atlas, and there's nothing. Oh, but CHK Ghost going to fight a crazy shot. Oh my god. The flips come out, blocked by Yabba Gabba. Oh my god, the
Real Otaku finds the strike after the Flame Flurry. Starfish unable to get it out, and that's going to be the brawler making a difference here for Force of Will. 1 point away from going up 1-0 in this first set of Grand Finals.
Oh my god, and the kickoff's going to come out. We have Patters is got a bit of an energy advantage here, and I would say a bit of a map advantage. Now, that didn't end up working out before, but it's a new set, new round. Oh, Real Otaku! Oh, unfortunate. This is going to be, he's not going to get the double, but that's still okay. They are going to end up taking that first barrier. Leary's going to go down, and that is actually the stacks remove on this Estelle, which will make Patters' game way easier if they can get this barrier, and they will. They are on an open net. All they need to do is put this in and take this next point with this, either this one with this flip, or save it for next. It doesn't matter what happens, but you need to do something now before this Estelle starts rolling again, starts getting stacked up. Another flip. Oh, straight through Muldrifter. It doesn't matter. The flip, the roll is not going to stop the flip. Oh, yeah, it's so unfortunate.
That was a slight miss angle from Muldrifter. Was rolled a little bit above the flip, right? There was a massive lane for Ghost to flip in, and taking that really good aim, but a little bit of a blunder from the goalie there. Hopefully it won't matter, but right now it's looking like it will as CHK Ghost gets a critical KO and erases an entire energy bar, and suddenly it looks like Chikara Patters an advantage in the set.
Absolutely. Starfish is going to keep this play. I imagine they want to keep it top, but good rotate by Muldrifter, but now you have two things to concern about. Your Estelle doesn't have any stacks. Your Julie just lost all of her Rampage stacks. She's at like 6, I think. A good offense here is looking to brew up, but a good pass player is actually going to end up taking that bottom barrier, and it's going to flip back. There's not a lot of threat in this corner quite yet. Real Otaku, just kidding, he finds it, because he's a beast. And it's here. This core flip's a little threatening. Real Otaku could look for something with Fiery Flurry. Okay, it goes around. And Muldrifter is chilling comfortably back here. This Dubu is no threat whatsoever. Got this flipped. Oh, nice.
Professional caster cursing by Flop. 2 barriers in a row. As now the Temple Fortress is going to build a little bit of insurance here. Real Otaku, though, the real threat, the dash punch, nullified. The dash stopped in its tracks by the Cosmic Expanse. Leary, dangerous. A flip. erased, and Moldrifter now has the flip, needs to make a difference here. The rebound, dangerous, up to the top side, the core speed, the KO! Moldrifter caught, stepping too far back, and Real Otaku, nothing you can realistically do there as a Julie. And if you're holding backwards, there's a goalie. That's what might make the difference here in the favor of Chikara Patters.
Oh my god, actual Siege Machine diff. Siege Machine prize fighter. And this Asher is going to end up picking up, I would assume, heavy impact, maybe a prime time if they want. They could even go in inner focus. It is going to be the heavy impact. This Estelle has many options. Hot shot is great. Your car gets missile prop. Oh my god. This draft is so... This is a beautiful draft. If you're a Chikara Patters player or a Chikara Patters fan, this is like the kind of draft that you need to close this set out. This heavy impact is going to bring a lot of value. It's going to make KOing so easy. Your Drakkar has infinitely more range now. And your Atlas has cooldowns. I mean, what more could you ask for?
You gotta stay calm, though. You gotta know that's still very winnable for Force of Will here, especially Leary. The stacks on stacks has not gone away. That Awakening is going to be stacked up in this new set, of fresh start here. But the strength, the capabilities have been increased quite a bit for the Chikara Patters. And if you're Starfish, you also got to sit comfortably there. No danger of being KO'd as the Atlas. Just need to build up those cooldowns. But Rio Otaku, as active as ever, got to get it past Moldrifter first. And that prime time is going to make it a little bit more difficult.
Absolutely, the Dooku wall is going to come out, and it's going to shut this play down. Ghost could still end up taking this barrier. Yabba Gabba is going to go into the goo, take a lot of damage. That's a little scary. And Starfish, if he can hold this, it's a very good. Oh, the secondaries come out. This Atlas is out of cooldowns, out of everything. But Leary doesn't have the HP to help Muldrifter. She needs to be able to stay up front. And oh no, Crystal Thorns. Oh, you can't. It is.
Yeah.
It's a good play. You can't clear up because the Julie's covering it. She's also covering directly in front of you, and the Crystal Thorn just covers what the Julie can't.
Well, yeah, Starfish, unfortunately, a tiny bit of impatience, right? Cleared slightly forward instead of perfectly vertical. That could have gotten out of there, but especially in this high-pressure situation, you can't blame the goalie too much, right? Trying to get it back into rotation, trying to build an offense on the other side.
Absolutely, and this the pass splitter's gonna come out. Oh, the Dooku wall is bugged out. Oh no, yeah, Kevin shoots it straight through, and we're a little brain blasted by the Dooku wall. It's okay, it happens. We'll just go to the next point. We're okay with that.
Yeah, unfortunate, but it is what it is here. Gotta recover, gotta figure out a way to turn it around, and Leary right there with the flip. Energy being built up for Rio Otaku. The resources in the hands of Force of Will looking quite good as Starfish in no danger of being KO'd. The intervention just to be safe, but might need that for Yabba Gabba or CHK Ghost in a second. Not quite good defense. Flip wasted, and another flip wasted here, this time by Starfish. But on the bright side, there's a double barrier. Yabba Gabba with a lock and load. The barrier traded on the other end, and this game's coming down to the wire. Yabba Gabba, no! Had to get it cleared to the top side, but then hit it right into Rio Otaku. And the pressure is mounting. The pressure is mounting.
This is a very scary spot to be in for a patter player. Otaku's going to have his flip soon. On the upside, your Atlas does almost have it stacked. No way. Okay. Oh. As long as you don't lose both. Okay, you didn't lose both. It's okay. This is still a very winnable game. We just need to get Otaku the ball. Otaku's going to end up claiming Baron.
Oh. Yabba Gabba, watch out! Real Otaku's there. Dash punch flip. Starfish lives. Oh, what a massive resource dump. The barrier taken on the other side. The gamble from Real Otaku does not pay off. And CHK Ghost now in full control. Yabba Gabba with a full stick of butter. Entire meter available here, and it's going to come down to an impossible defense. The flip used to the bottom side, the pass up, a wide open net, the roll perfect, but the strike core better. And we're at match point, and CHK Ghost basically has a flip.
Oh, this is brutal. You have this is going to be a it's Atlas variant as well. This is brutal. If Ghost gets set up here, there's not much Dubu can do. He's going to drop this pass splitter in the corner, and it's going to be a tragedy. Ghost is going to end up living. That is a huge live. The fact that he did not die there is a little crazy. This flip is coming out. There's the pass splitter. Flip needs to be used soon. Oh, unfortunate. It's okay.
That would have been an overwhelming lead if CHK Ghost just popped the flip there. Like, that would have been a flip in front of the barrier, one barrier taken already, but still in a decent spot here. Starfish with the flip available, defensively looking quite good, and leads are kept on this map if you keep possession on the other side, right? The center terrain making it so difficult to rotate around, and right now, the control is in the hands. Yabba Gabba invisible, walking forward now, the flip available for Starfish to defend. To the top side it rotates, and GHQ goes as the Toby Fortress disappears. It's dangerous for Muldrifter. Yabba Gabba interrupting, CHQ goes in the 1v1, and Yabba Gabba again on the follow-up. That's going to be a game. That's going to be Chikara Patters.
Oh my, I mean, what a game. You know, we were coming into it, I wasn't a big fan of Patters' comp. This triple melee comp didn't have a lot of range. This Estelle looked really dominant. You know, Muldrifter did a great job just making sure they could never get a good offense going. But I mean, look at these redirects numbers. Literally with a almost 360 redirects. Just goes to show how much core possession was had. But it doesn't matter. Like, you need to... There just wasn't enough being done with this possession. It got to the point Patters managed to scale up this Jakar Asher, even this Atlas, who ended up having the 26 CDR that last point with just inner focus, a very strong awakening, especially on these lock it down goalies.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I really noticed was the resilience from Starfish in particular. Right, had a bit of a rough early game. I had a few mistakes in the early game, but when it came to the final few sets, Starfish was just locking it down. Clutch Atlas reses, expanses, not leaving anything up to chance in the open net. Just playing very, very correctly.
Absolutely, no, I agree. And I think not only Starfish, I think Yabba Gabba was also had a couple really clutch strikes, a couple really good shutdowns on flips that I think if those went through were going to be very scary. You know, I mean, it was a set 5.5 game, so if any of those flips ended up working out, right, we have a different game here. We have a different story where...
Yeah, and especially on the offense, right? Yabba Gabba was just drifting right back. Of course, this comp, triple melee, it's kind of rough on the mobility front, right? But I think Yabba Gabba kind of like exploited that kind of perception where Force of Will was like, okay, we got to pass the Asher, we're good. And then Yabba Gabba just like Xeno clerked right behind them, hit the core, passed them, and they're like, whoa, like, we didn't expect that. And that kind of surprise factor, especially with it being so effective later on into the game, really helped out the offense from Chikara Patters to an extreme extent, actually. They scored too many goals at the end of the game thanks to that.
I agree. The Super Surge aerials really came in. Got a lot of value just being able to reposition yourself in that invis so much further than you normally would. And I'm curious what the game plan is, because do they just run it back? I'm talking about Patters. Do Patters run the comp back? Because I mean, clearly they've shown that they can do it, even if it is a comp that like we think has like glaring weaknesses. They managed to play around it. They managed to make it work on a map that is kind of neutral.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. They're not running it back because the next map is completely different. It's Inky Splash Zone.
Oh, okay. So they're not running it back. Yeah, no, they're probably not running it back on a stacks quick strike start.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, hang on. I'm gonna need you to re-invite me. I didn't have game audio that entire game.
What? Lacking the soul of the core strike sound.
I did. Every core flip was kind of like a jump scare for me because I couldn't hear the core flip sound.
Hey, this could be the last game. Chikara Patters. It was close. It was looking real good for Force of Will, but turning it all the way around, especially in the manner that they did it, right? Like the early sets, it just looked like Force of Will was riding that previous set momentum, the previous series that went down to the wire. But it kind of feels like that momentum has been halted entirely, and Chikara Patters looking confident, looking comfortable, most importantly, and looking warmed up.
I agree. I think I'm really interested in seeing quick strike stacks on stack start. This kind of leans yourself towards more like haste midfielders, right? Like the Kai, maybe the Now. it's not the greatest map for her, but she can definitely see some value. And I think there's a lot of potential here for either midfielder, really, to kind of distinguish themselves and do a lot of heavy lifting, depending on whether they want this stacks on stacks or this quick strikes pickup. Especially on a map like Inkies, where it's like, if you get this barrier, right, you're very likely to just win the round.
Yeah, we'll see. Estelle, of course, a priority pickup here. Leary doing a lot of damage on it. Being the most threatening member of Force of Will, and honestly, potentially the most threatening single member in the entire previous game, right? Despite the loss, I think Leary was a constant threat across the entire game, and taking that Estelle away, taking it for yourselves, huge pick, especially on a map as open as Inkies, and I think that's going to be the defining factor. But I see Estelle or an Era goalie? Probably an Era goalie, right? I'm a little bit scared because that kind of lack of defensive capability potentially could come back to bite them.
Oh, I would assume it is an Era goalie, yeah. And I'm not a fan, okay? I'm still personally recovering from a game we played the other week, I believe NASA week 1, where we locked this comp, and it sucked, okay? It did not work. It has a lot of issues. The backline's pretty weak. It still has to use a lot of abilities on kickoff, so she's going to be a little weaker initially, and if you don't win that, Julie Era doesn't have the lane threat that they normally do. The NATOs don't get a lot of value. Julie can. It's still pretty difficult, though. And you don't get a lot of beam value either on this. So I'm really interested in how you survive this Kai era, or this Kai Asher that is just going to run you down, barrage into you. The Asher is going to beam, pass splitter. Like, how do you survive this offense if they ever get it set up?
Yeah, we'll see. It's it's difficult, but we'll have to see. Again, I am so worried. I'm with you. Like, this kind of goalie, especially in Osas, right? Like, of course, we've seen how well these players can play, but these kinds of goalies require a lot of proactivity and consistency, and that can be exploited by enemy brawlers.
Absolutely. This any dash punch brawler really can get a lot of value just by, if you're not careful. I mean, goalies especially, if your midfielder gets dash punched, it sucks. Like, oh well. If your brawler gets dash punched, it sucks. Oh well. But if your goalie, like, you have to be really on lock, especially on this character like Era, who has to walk up and take interactions. It makes her very susceptible to dash punch, and if she's down, it's so much worse than like your midfielder getting dash punched or your brawler getting dash punched. It's infinitely worse.
All right, we're loading in Thingy Splash, and we'll see how the positions sort themselves out. It is indeed Starfish's Era goalie, Yabba Gabba on the Estelle, Juliet for CHK Ghost. And Ghost, I think I see most often on the Juliet, right? That's a normal pick.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable. Just by looking at the way he's played, I haven't really seen Ghost outside of this week. But just by the characters he's played, the Asher, I think I saw him on Julie game. He looks like he'd be a very comfortable Juliet player. And honestly, just in general, Julie Estelle tends to be pretty reliable, pretty consistent. You do the very, I don't want to call it cookie cutter, but like the very cookie cutter setups. It's just a very stable pick, I think, that once you're comfortable on, you could do a lot.
We'll have to see. Loading into game, though. And these kickoffs are going to be everything. CHK Ghost, they're playing with the Era Beam. They're playing for the early pressure. And as long as Starfish can space out, find a little bit of room to play around the Asher, that could be really good here.
Something to note is that Starfish has opted into the quick strikes. so that will be a little less speed. You know, typically you'd see like a momentum boost, stacks on stacks, goalie. Barrier's gonna fall for the side. For the side of Chikara Patters, that means that Force of Nature is gonna, or Force of Will, sorry, is gonna have their beam up. They will be using it, and this is a little scary now. The beam actually coming out on the side of Patters. I'm really struggling here. Hold.
Starfish to the bottom side. Got to be careful here. The glitch pop almost enough. Leary going for it all here. Unable to find the goal itself. But Yabba Gabba now helping defend the NATO. Looking for a KO perhaps. But Ryo Otaku, the barrier beam sends it right through.
Yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate NATO. A little off angled. I think you could have gotten the kill on Otaku there if you really made it a little bit up. But it's pretty hard to see. And honestly, there's an amazing save there. Like, they evaded the glitch pop. I believe it was a Starfish who did it. I really want to shout that out because that was an awesome save. That's really hard to see.
Looking for the pass here. Looking for the firewall sentry. And we're once again seeing the defensive woes of the Era goalie here. The water cannon going to make it difficult. Yabba Gabba trying to play second goalie. CHK Ghost playing third goalie even. As Ryo Otaku just wreaks havoc on the enemy goal box.
It's going to go around. Muldrifter not under too much threat here as long as the ball's in this top corner. Oh, but the abilities will come out. Oh, and the core flip by Ghost is going to be... Yeah, that's a surefire score. It's an impossible save. And, you know, I may have caster cursed them again, but typically this top corner is where you really want the ball to be. But it is still truly Estelle. You know, they're just going to take this ball. They're going to throw their abilities at you. And, I mean, I've told my teammates it before. It doesn't matter who we're playing against. If you hit stun them, they can't play the game.
True, that's true. And right now, they're remembering that very, very well. CHK Ghost, Yabba Gabba. What a shot to find the barrier here. CHK Ghost to the top side. The water cannon coming in. Perfectly timed to wipe out the Aimi. And Yabba Gabba with a very calm finish to the bottom side. And they're warming up a little bit on this map, too. It looks like their offense is looking better and better as points go on.
Does, and Patters is soon to be 2 fully stacked pancakes. 128, 124. Julie has actually gotten them online. And, you know, Force of Will doesn't really have too many going on here, and they do have this barrier taken, but the cannon usage this game has been a little iffy. And here it is again. This cannon doesn't really get a lot of value, and I feel like you really need to get the value out of the cannon, else you're playing just down an ability and a dash punch that's like max range. Honestly amazed that, like...
Yeah, this game is speeding up as we speak. That is the potential here for Inky Splash Zone. And take a look at the Awakenings. There's some Awakenings that could speed this up even more.
Yeah, this is Deadeye. Could be a peak performer. Actually, a Happy Star. I guess they want to deny the turret. That's understandable. You know, Amy blinks forward, drops turret. That's a pretty decent kickoff on its own. And notably here... Wow. Notably here, you're getting a lot of speed on this red side. You got your glass cannon on this Kai, your Amy's got peak, along with those stacks on stacks, even in the OYA, which I kind of forget that Awakening does anything. There's a lot of speed here, and all they need to do is kind of just survive long enough to abuse it, and I think it's a little scary. If this prize fighter can get value, there is a lot of value to be had there, but it is just a prize fighter, Julie. No pummelers, slick kicks. I'm really curious how Patters makes this draft work for them.
And the way that the Patters are playing offense is so methodical. JJ Ghost is pressuring one side immediately when they try to outclear. Yabba Gabba's there to cover, but right now Starfish is in trouble. Ryo Otaku wins the strike war and gets it through, and that's what happens when Muldrifter holds on long enough.
Absolutely. I think we honestly... We're kind of like handshaking the 1v1s in a way, it feels, you know, but I think we really just need to, like, for Force of Will really needs to, like, put some pressure on this Julie just to force something, right? Like, if it goes to the Estelle, it goes to the Estelle. You have this Kai that can kind of cover stuff. You have this Amy that can also cover more. Oh, a good barrier, and the cannon's actually going to come in. Ghost, finding a dash, isn't even going to need the flip. And that's a point for Patters. They've evened it out again.
Yeah, really well played here.
I mean, it's Inky's is such a such a map. It is a map. It's just like the points are over so quickly. It feels so fast. Ghost is taking this top corner again with this flip. The punch is going to manage to get that in, and this is a scary corner for this to be. They've managed to dug it out, but Starfish has the cannon to get this down to Ghost, and oh, it's doomed. What can you do? That is a dash flip to put Muldrifter into the net.
Wow. This offense is speeding up even more. I know I said that like 2 points ago. I'm going to say it again because GHK Ghost is looking like a bit of a beast. Yappa Gappa's there to cover the outclear no matter what. Real Otaku, those strike wars though on the arrow beam, the fake defensive ability getting punished. We like to see that. We'd like to see the dash punch, I guess, as GHK Ghost creates another power play.
Ghost is on that third prize fighter stack, and it's a power play for Patters if they can put this in. The beam's going to come through, cut it down, and Ghost, I mean, yeah, it's a nightmare save. You go down to your Asher, and like maybe Estelle beams it, but otherwise, Ghost is just going to hold this strike, and what can you do? And that's, depending on what's in this draft, a build different for your Julie. Honestly, the next pick is probably more important. What does this Amy take? Do you give the prime time? You're actually going to pick up the hot shot, and this Estelle's going to get prime time, and I feel we've made a mistake. Patters is already very in control of the game. Notably, Leary's is just kind of just chilling. Ghost is doing a lot of the heavy lifting and the scoring, but this Estelle is just there to be a threat, and now this Estelle has primetime Happy Star. Well, what do you do to get this away? A real Otaku is doing what he needs to do to take these barriers, but he's just not being given a lot of chances. And Lear's actually going to go ahead and put that in.
Yeah, it's all about follow-ups on this map, right? CHK Ghost and the Yappa Gappa following up for the barrier on the other side, Real Otaku, and then Larry following up for the goal. It all comes down to when they can create those opportunities, and the kickoff matters a lot in that when both goalies are struggling a little bit on the defense. To not a massive fault of their own, the defense is just hard on Inkies.
It is very difficult on Inkies, and it's a very snowbally map. If you win the kickoff, I said it earlier before we loaded in, if you win the kickoff, you're probably going to win the round. Not always the case, but Real Talk is going to walk up. Starfish is going to manage to clear it out for now. That is good. That is one more attempt needed. Ghost finally getting that prize fighter online for this round. As long as he keeps that going, this should end up being a barrier. Eventually back down to Yappa Gappa. Going to take that corner shot. Ghost is going to keep possession. Amy's not going to respawn in time, and a punch is going to put it in right through Muldrifter.
One goal away from winning this entire season of the Omega Strikers Amateur Series. It's Chikara Patters. Very, very close here. And on Inkies, that close might just be in a few seconds. Flip available. Gosh. This could be it. Flame Flurry. KO found. Lyrian Liars also incredibly low here. All it takes is one pass, one opportunity, one Pearson shot. Yappa Gappa closed it out. Congratulations, Chikara Patters.
I was a little worried we were going to have, another set 5.5 banger or more. But no, I mean, Patters took the last game, flipped it on its head, came back. They were down like 0-2 or whatever, and they took that momentum and they decided, all right, guys, let's lock it in. Let's make it a clean 3-0. I want to go home. I want to, and they did, like, decisively. Ghost with the big 7+0, most redirects on the enemy team, most Ghost kind of put on a masterclass this game.
Yeah, a little bit overwhelming here. And it all comes down to both teams were glass cannons, but Chikara Patters were less glass and more cannon.
Yeah, and I mean, what's the record? What's the Chikara record? It's another Chikara win.
That's true.
I'm sure somebody knows out there. I'm sure they're keeping up with it. It's. I mean, what a honestly great performance from both teams. I know it was a bit dominant on the Inkies game, but game one was pretty close. And Inkies is a very volatile map, I think. If you know how to play it, you're comfortable on it, you'll just beat any team that doesn't know how to play it, or like any team that's less it's a very volatile. Sometimes you go sometimes you roll Inkies and you just don't play Inkies the way you know.
All right. I'm sending you to tell them that we're interviewing them.
Okay.
Finale VC3. Okay, you go first. I'll be there in 2 seconds.
Wait, are they?
He's gone. I sent him. Okay.
You guys, hello, welcome.
Hello.
Congratulations.
How are y'all feeling?
I'm feeling very excited.
Feeling great, man.
That's awesome.
Holy.
So
Another Chikara team for the win.
Now let me ask, what was the idea game one? You guys what was the idea with the comp game one? Because it was something that we looked at and honestly weren't super big on the triple melee, but you guys kind of looked like you went in with a game plan and you had it figured out. What was you guys just decide that you were locking triple melee and we're gonna make it work, or is that something you guys had in the pocket ready to go?
That just so happens to be my third pick, and they banned me out.
Yeah, I was on more of my comfortable pick as well.
And I'm
Guys,
just there to lock it down. I
Okay.
play lockdown goalies.
I mean, that's fair. It's okay to just be like, yeah, we're just out of picks. We're just gonna launch what we can.
Throw a sword, we're running it, but it worked out. I was surprised they let me get missile prop.
Yeah.
The modern guy strikes again.
CHK Ghost. In the early days, we confused you for Chikara Ghost. Full circle?
Yes, that is true. So unfortunately, that is not what it stands for. I've actually been coming up with a name for it. For now, it's Crystal Hagane Knights. Hagane being steel in Japanese. It's just a little mix.
Interesting.
But yeah, I don't know if I want to finalize that, but it's what I've come up with so far.
Yeah, and playing Brawl for this team, how was it? Bit of a dominant performance across this Osas finale.
It was probably the best experience I've had so far in all of my OSAS season's participations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about Drakkar, but Yabba Gabba, this Drakkar character, you found a lot of success on it today, and also were given a lot of missile prop today. How was it?
I was very, very happy that Lyrie let me have missile prop. Thank you for that. I was making do with aerials, but the missile prop was just wonderful. I'm happy to make Drakkar midfield work and push up and brawl when Ghost is dying.
And Starfish, as the goalie, kind of standing head and shoulders above all of the goalies in this particular OSAS season, I guess. How did you stay calm during a lot of the hectic points, especially when you guys were down?
Oh, well, honestly, my job is just to sit there and make sure core don't go in hole. So I just focus on that much. Actually, in the first game, you saw we were down 0-2, but who cares, right? We just need to lock in, breathe. Before every game, we're drinking water, making sure that we all just sit down and just realize what we're here. And I just kept saying over and over again, just play how we always play. If we do that, we win. We did not drop a single game throughout any qualifier or the finals. So if we just keep playing like that, we'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's definitely the calm person of the team.
Well, that's
fire. You're down 0-2 and you say it doesn't matter. Wait, that is an incredible skill to have as a player. Oh my god.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, those are crazy calls to be able to come to. I mean, yeah. Guys, you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome, bro. Thanks for commenting stuff, guys. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's
You guys are great too.
I love this game.
Anything you want to say to the people? Any
I
shout
love
outs?
Mega Strikers.
Any final thoughts?
Aesop, can you
What?
please make an exception for me to give me the verified check mark? Please, please, please.
Yeah, bro, this guy.
Where's my verified check mark? Hello?
Oh, you know, I got something for everyone. Hey, yo, shout outs to Chikara Patters, dude. W Pats, dude. Who cares if we're down 0-2?
The W
We
Patters.
just win. Let's go.
And thank you to all the people that invested time into helping us learn tricks, helping us with our team comps, strategizing, and coaching us throughout this whole season. It wouldn't have been possible without you guys.
And for me personally, I love the support that y'all give me on the mods I make for the game. It really satisfies me to see that people enjoy the stuff I make, even though it's low effort.
Yeah.
W Drek midfield from season
Thank you.
13 Drek
W
midfield
Drek
to season
midfield.
14
Awesome
Drek
to hear
midfield.
to hear from the other Drek midfield.
Yeah, but you already know.
We make it work. We make it work.
We make it work.
Oh, sorry. I do have a specific shout out. My bad. Shout outs to A smiley face. Shout outs to him. He pushes me to be better at this game. That's my good buddy. And you know what? He coached me throughout the season. Shout outs to A. That's my guy.
And shout outs
Hey,
to
smiley
Zon for
face,
being
W.
our team coach.
Shoutouts to Blank for staying with me every weekend.
Dude. All these W people.
Everybody's good.
Where's the Rasmus goalie battle way? I thought you were gonna pull that out at Ninkies.
Nah.
Dude. Okay.
Too
sorry,
bad we pulled out Aragoli.
I don't want to like hold everybody here hostage, but like I should like 3 days ago I played Era goalie for like the first time on Inkies, and I said, wait, this is easy. I just like point at people, laugh at them because they're small, and then like we win. And so I said, if they ban out my Atlas, I'm
God,
playing.
you're
Era
gonna get
today.
calm-eyed. You're gonna make my team want me to play Arrow now. Christ.
No, but literally, you just keep
Can you?
primering the biggest character on the screen, and then suddenly they're useless.
Yeah, I was level 3 while my teammates were level 6 because I was just primarying people. I didn't even play the game.
Well,
All right. Any last words?
GG's.
Yeah,
Everyone was great competitors.
All right, with that, thank you for watching the 14th season of the Omega Strikers Amateur Series. And if there's a 15th, we'll see you there. Goodbye. Good night.
If
I gotta say if, like, it gets people, like, engaged and, like, talking and, like, productive, you know? Like, when I put final season on the national
there I goes.
animation-
They gotta leave on a cliffhanger. My fault.
Yeah. Don't tell them, though. Like, this is just between the two of us. Like,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's just like when I put the final
two of
season.
us.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.